Oops, not that. I'm gonna double that for a second. Forgot I gotta pop out the chat. Pop out chat, there you go. You can go over where the chat was. Live chat. Now we can switch this. Okay, why isn't the pop out chat popping up? Okay, I guess we'll have to delete it. Yes, delete the chat. Goodbye, chat. This window capture. I did notice that earlier when doing something that it was not finding the window. There we go. Oh, now I gotta redo it. Dang it. Oh shoot, not that. Don't move that. Stop. Let me click on the damn chat. Jeez. Okay. Now, chat. Transform, add transform. Gotta do this again. Let's crop a little bit out of the left. Actually, no. Not do that. Crop a little bit out of the right. And we can do the top a little bit. Not exactly excited that it would not find the chat window when I put it back up. I guess the bottom too, because I don't really need to have all that. There we go. That's fine, I think. We'll like kind of align it up if we can. Good enough. Good enough. Maybe I'll do something for a chat later on. Anyway, we're back with Pokemon Crystal. So, cool. Everything's looking good. I'm using 2 monitors today. Oh, what's like, wait. Oh, I know why it's dark over here because I'm out of light. I'll move that over just a little bit. That's, I think, a little bit better. Maybe that. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so we're back doing Pokemon Crystal. Last time we did Jasmine and Chuck and we just stopped. So this time we're going to be going towards Mahogany, Lake of Rage, and probably doing the Rockets. So let's go over the team. We have Steve the Scyther. Shout out to Magnitude. Legend. Quick Attack, Leer, Headbutt, Pursuit. Not sure how good Pursuit's going to be because it's a special attack and Scyther's special attack is 30. Then we got Dedue, who's not a Geodude anymore. He's a Graveler. And he's got Headbutt, Defense Curl, Rock Throw, Magnitude. And very high defense and attack. And his special attack is better than Scyther's, though Scyther's multiple levels lower. It's level 25. On level 30, we have Matt the Kadabra. Kicking ass. Crazy special attack and speed. Pretty good special defense. Psybeam, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and Thunder Punch. Got the punches with Psybeam. I'll get Psychic later on, and boom, there we go. Then level 25, we got Zuko, the Quilava. Holding the Sharkle. Quick Attack, Leer, Smokescreen, Ember. Hasn't really gotten good moves yet. When Zuko becomes Typhlosion, I do know Thunder Punch becomes an option, and Flame Wheel, and then later Flamethrower, I believe. Pretty mixed stats all around. Then we've got Epaulet, the Chinchou. Thunder Wave, Supersonic, Spark Surf. Also pretty balanced. Forget when Chinchou evolves. I think it's early 30s or late 20s. It might be in a couple levels, or it's early 30s. We got Orso, the Teddy Ursa, who I think is, yeah, last. Headbutt, Leer, Feint Attack, Strength, and not as much of a gap between attack and special attack as I thought. So that is the team. Basically, we have Steve, who's new, Matt, who's goated, and then everybody else is 25, 26. Is there anything else I need to grab? So the reason this has not been back in a little bit is simple fact of I've been setting things up for my Switch and also Christmas. It's December. My room is a mess because I'm the Eve's outlet in the house, so all the Christmas stuff is in my Eve. And yeah, now my floor is a mess for a little bit. You guys can't see it, but I have a TV right here. It is not even or barely a foot away from me, my head. I had a setup going where right back here, so just out of range of my arm, there's a bunch of boxes that I was going to put my mic up and stream some like Mario Kart or something. I had it so I could play the game on the TV, which is pretty cool. And it was not working at all. So the issue, I think, is a computer issue. I don't think it's the capture device. I mean, I've got a cheap capture device, so maybe I upgrade. I'll have to upgrade at some point, but I believe it is the specs, because it's a fairly old PC. I've got actually two and a laptop. My dad builds a lot of computers, or used to, so I got some older ones. I think I'm good with my items. It's nice to have a bit of a break because I did just play gold. I hope I don't get too tired either. It's a little late. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to go to the box. Ultra Ball, nice. I'm going to go to the box and see if I need to get rid of anything. Because I know you can run out of space. I don't think there's anything in Mount Mortar. I could be wrong, but I don't think... I think it's Heart Gold Soul Silver like the Karate King. And the Karate King might be in there in this one too, maybe. Yeah, sometimes I get like, I don't know if it's hair or something, but my nose gets really itchy. Hope I'm not looking like I'm picking my nose the entire time, but that might be the case. Not this. There we go. Deposit. Mystery Berry, definitely. I'm gonna do the Super Repel. I don't mind running into Pokemon. Now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14. Okay, cool. 6 item spaces, that should be good enough. I think it's like 20 is the max. So we're gonna stream for a couple of hours, hopefully. At least an hour again. If I get to 10:30, that's the goal. EST. So like I said, there's not much in here, but we're gonna still check it out. I think there's some items, at the very least. Anyway, I would like to do some Mario Kart, because I like playing Mario Kart. I guess technically speaking, like, I could use Dolphin do older ones, but I like time trialing Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart World is so tech heavy. I'm very bad. I don't feel quite comfortable with the game, so that is, maybe that could be a series or something, or some streams where I learn Mario Kart World, but I've been trying to fill out my timesheet in 8. I think that'd be a fun thing to make a video on. The problem is it's a private stream. I'm not going to show anybody it. I'm not going to private it, but it was very choppy. And then I've got another video of me that is playing it, and it doesn't look great, I guess. It looks better, but it's dropping, like there's pauses every couple seconds. So I'd like to get that fixed before I do Mario Kart. I know I did Zelda. I did just Pokemon like Sword back in the day. I guess we can do that strength boulder, can't we? But Mario Kart's an issue, and I've got a time video. If you actually, if you want to look up on my channel like Big Blue, and I've got my 200cc time, and it doesn't look very good. Not that the time doesn't look, the video doesn't look good, so. I don't really want to be streaming like from my phone of, here's the video. I think that'd be kind of bad. Oh, there's a guy over there. Okay. Eradicate. No, Oh, you know what? I see a notification, I think. Let me check it. No, let's not check it, because that is going to totally exit me out of, that's going to pause the stream. Okay. It was nothing important. I can't stand having a notification down there, though. It would bug me. Hyper Potion. Nice. I'll take it. But yeah, that's what put Crystal on hold. I did beat Gold, though, shortly before I played Crystal. That was just what I was... I'd been waiting for the internet to come in to do Crystal, but I just was really craving it. I really wanted to play Gen 2, so I played through Gold. And yeah. It's nice having a little bit of a break, I guess. Spacing it out a little bit more. It's not easy playing roughly the same Pokemon game back-to-back with, like, no break. So. I think next we're going to go Ruby over Sapphire as well. That is the... I've been team building, basically. And I would really like to use Zangoose. And Zangoose is in Ruby only. So I think it's going to be Ruby is what I play. I've been like partial team building. I've got the plan is for Blaziken for Ruby. Blaziken for Ruby, Sceptile for Emerald, Swampert for the Swampert for Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, whichever one I choose. And then I've got a list of Pokemon that I'm like interested in using. Some of them are ones I've used before, some are new ones that I think could be fun. I just like to try out. Okay, there's a dude here. So we'll bottle this guy. I feel like the Karate King is in a waterfall, but maybe that's just Heart Gold Soul Silver. There's a chance that's just Heart Gold Soul Silver. Or that's the entrance of the cave, and you have to, that's where you get to that point from. We're going to save the game. Yes. I'd like to use Claydol on one playthrough. Hey, Hugh! Hugh. Oh, he's just nerdy, okay. He probably said it with like a really nasally voice. Go, Steve! No, we're actually just gonna go for Headbutt because that's stronger. I think the gap is enough that Super Effective Pursuit isn't gonna do that much. Ooh, got a crit, nice. I will probably switch the streaming stuff to the other computer. I'm not gonna do a lot to it, just a little bit of upgrades. Because I'm not looking for anything crazy. Nothing over here. I'm not doing anything crazy, you know? I just need enough to handle the capture card. Because I don't do much computer games, and I really just want to be able to capture my Switch easier. That's the main goal. Be able to play Mario Kart. Because I think everything else would be, like, good enough. Like, there's not going to be that much of an issue. But Mario Kart I would really like to play. And that not working at all is kind of sucks. I definitely want to space some things out, add some things in. I'm surprisingly though not much of a gamer. Another notification. What the hell is it? Same person. Still totally not important. Guess I'll go down this way, and this is, yeah, that's where the strength boulder is. Okay. What was I saying? So, I like to use Claydol. I love Claydol. I used it last time I played through Ruby. Oh, another dude. I'm not losing this time. I loved Claydol when I used it. It was like, it was awesome. Claydol worked really well. The only issue is this would be the second playthrough in a row where my Claydol would be with something else that is a Nidoking. Would be with something else. Oh, shoot. I guess you, because you can surf. This would be the second time I'm using it with a Pokemon that wants a ghost move. Wants Shadow Ball. Which is totally annoying because I would really, really love to be able to run Shadow Ball on Claydol. And the only reason it worked last time was because I just happened to get Hidden Power Ghost on an Exploud. So I could run that on Exploud, and I could run Shadow Ball on Claydol. Why do I want Shadow Ball on Claydol? Well, in an old Pokemon game where there's not as many... I probably should have switched train and put Scyther back out. Well, there's not as many, like, good moves. Yeah, I do. And TMs are only one use. Every, you get one Shadow Ball. Oh yeah, this entire time. Great. You get one Shadow Ball. You have to use it wisely. You get a... I think you get a ground move. No, you might not get a ground move. You might get just Cosmic Power, Psychic move. It might just be Cosmic. I think this is where the Karate guy would be. Is on top of that waterfall to the left. I'm gonna go look just to see it. Ooh, a Meryl. I didn't know that was here. That's another. That's the Pokemon on the list of I have no interest in using it until Gen 6. Yeah, I think the Karate King is back there somewhere. After you go up the waterfall. So anyway, so Clay will get Cosmic Power, Psychic move. I think it's Ancient Power, and then option of whatever the other thing is. But I like the idea of Shadow Ball because you can hit other Psychics super effectively while resisting them. Is there anything down here? No. Okay. Let's see if that was anything. Yeah, so you can hit Psychic type super while resisting them. Obviously, it's good on normal type, though, because you're just immune to their ghost moves, and you can hit them super effectively back. So... okay, there's nothing there. And... another battle. Another Meryl. So the, but yeah, I got Hidden Power Ghost on Exploud, and that allowed me to run Shadow Ball and Claydol. And, I mean, Claydol rocked. Even if I don't, I still want to use it again, but I really... hey, this is my secret place. Get lost, you outsider. I really would love to have Shadow Ball and Claydol, because it's just another good move in general. Being able to hit Psychic types, but it's probably better on Zangoose. Zangoose does get it, by the way. So I can have Swords Dance, like Slash or something. Shadow Ball. Don't want you in. I guess this is just gonna be... no, to do. Ground type. I guess I could do Earthquake TM though on it this time. It does depend though on what else I would use. Ooh, and 210. I forgot to keep hitting the E button. It might depend on what what other Pokemon are there. Who else is on the team? If somebody wants that Earthquake team, but that's an option. Like there's other things I could put on Claydol. But Zangoose would be a ghost killer while also just being able to hit pretty hard, I guess you'd say. With Swords Dance pretty early and then like Slash and Headbutt. I realize that I can see this stream thing, but I cannot see like the bottom of the graph. Yeah, back to do. If I click, wait. I want 2 monitors. If I click this. Oh, it does pause it. Dang it. I was hoping this, okay. I was just seeing what my settings were on that. On the YouTube thing. Okay. I won't do that again. I was hoping splitting it up would, not do anything. But anytime this is in the background, it just stops. Which I guess is fine, technically, because if it's in the background, I'm not playing it, right? Dude grew level 26. I should have used my moonstone. The guy in there used his moonstone. Ah, it's good to be outside. I feel so free. We're gonna go back the other way because I think there's a fisherman and there's some Pokemon on the water too. Or some like items over there, I think. Hiker Benjamin's not Diglett. I guess I could fight Diglett myself with Steve. I'm not that tired. Talking just, I don't know, makes me yawn. This is a thing if you watch, if you're a regular viewer of my channel. And a regular viewer if you're watching me do just a video where I'm talking. Oh, we don't want Epaulet this time because weak. Matt, wait, actually, or so. Weak to ground and rock. Weak to ground, weak to rock. What moves do you have? Okay, we're going into Matt. I didn't realize that rock ground combination like actually screws me. I'm really bad against this combination. Ice Punch super effective. Because rock does not resist ice, just I got it just weak. Huh. There we go. Doug Trio. I'm gonna go back into Steve. So I'm looking at Zangoose. Claydol on one of the two. I lean. Even though Zangoose is there and would want Shadow Ball, I lean towards Ruby again because the Ruby playthrough I did with Sceptile as my starter. And I don't really want to do Sceptile Claydol again, especially since if I want to go electric, my options are a little limited. I guess I could do Magneton. I've used Magneton before. Magneton was good. But if I go like Manectric, because Manectric is a cool electric type. Other options, because you do get Thunderbolts TM, I could go Pikachu, because I think you could a Thunderstone, but I kind of want to use Pikachu and Leaf Green Fire, if I'm being honest. One place I do not want to overlap is we're gonna go back into Matt. One place I don't want to overlap is Gen. Within a gen / set of 2 gens, of course. Because I think Pokemon like will change like with the physical special split and change when TMs become doubled, but especially in like Gen 6 as you get a lot more moves. Like the difference between Gen 3 and Gen 6 is huge. Great example. Camerupt. I'm gonna go... Okay, never mind. We're gonna talk to Liz. Listen. Do you know Earl, the teacher who runs the Pokemon Companion in Violet? I saw him doing pirouettes while he was running. It was wildly funny. Okay, I'll call you later. Okay, that is pretty funny. Camerupt, for example. Best example of this. So, Numel gets only Ember by level up. Until you get to, I think it's Eruption. Eruption. And it gets Magnitude, and then it does get Earthquake, and it gets Rock Slide when it evolves. You can get Flamethrower if you hold on to Numel until level 41, but you miss out on Rock Slide in turn. There is a move person, but I'm not sure. I don't know what you need in that game. If it's like tiny mushrooms, like in Leaf Green and Fire Red, or another item, and how easy or hard it is to get said item. So, you know, assuming I'm not going to be able to tutor Flamethrower or tutor Rock Slide. If I could tutor Rock Slide, you know, I'd hold off on that and just tutor Rock Slide later. But let's say I can't do that, you know, then I have to choose between those two moves. And actually, there might be the Suicune down there, so we're gonna save and we're gonna save, but we might not be able to go do that right away because there's I think it's a cut tree. Yeah, there's a cut tree. Suicune is down there. Okay, I don't think there's anything this way. I'm gonna look though just in case. No, that's just where we start. Actually, I can go over there and go back to Egritique and pick up a cut Pokemon and box something real quick. Anyway, Camerupt gets in Oris, gets Lava Plume and like Earth Power before even evolving, and then gets Rock Slide at that same level, which is way better than just getting Earthquake and then Eruption, which is 5 PP and not as strong if you get weakened. And Camerupt is pretty slow, so it's likely to take damage unless the opponent just doesn't, use an attacking move. So like that totally changes the Pokemon, how it plays. Even in newer gens with the move changes, Salazzle, for example. We're gonna box Steve because Steve is the lowest. If I have, I don't think I'm battling Suicune or anything, but if I have to battle like Usine again or something, I would rather have my full team. Or the leveled up Pokemon, and I'll worry about getting... Steve isn't that far behind in levels, so it's not going to be too difficult to get Steve up. But anyway, that changes the complexion of the Pokemon, but the newer gens. So Salazzle got Flame Burst in Gen 7 by level up. In Gen 8, I think, and definitely by Gen 9. Maybe not in Gen 9, I don't remember, but Flame Burst is deleted as a move. They sometimes take some moves out. I think it's probably if they're repetitive or they're really niche. Like, good example would be Smelling Salts, a move like that. Bye, Suicune. Okay, so we're just going to be able to look at the Apricorns. But it does not... Its replacement move is Incinerate. And Incinerate is 10 base power less than Flame Burst. And you don't get, unlike, say, Camerupt in Gen 3, where you get Lava Plume, like, before level 30. You don't get, I think, Flamethrower until 44. So you're stuck with your base 60 power fire move for a while. I think you get Fire Lash now, but Fire Lash is a physical move, and Salazzle's not a physical attacker, so Fire Lash isn't very good on Salazzle. That's not really what you want. So that kind of thing changes between gens, but it's especially big going between Gen 2 and Gen 3 because you get natures and abilities. Going between Gen 3 and Gen 4 because of the physical special split. And then probably Gens 5 and 6 after that because you get unlimited, well, not unlimited TMs. You get that in Gen 5, but half of Gen 5. There's no remake in Gen 5, and half of Gen 5 is soft reset with only the Gen 5 Pokemon, so it's really only Black 2 and White 2, and they add about 150 older Pokemon back in, but that's about as big as what this full dex is, roughly. Because a lot of the Pokemon in the Johto dex you don't get in the, main game. Like Pikachu. Pikachu's only in Kanto, so if we go to area, nothing's popping up here. And I guess I can't do Kanto until I get to Kanto, so... Oops. So, but there's an example, right? So, or again, the Kanto Dex is 150, so you're like doubling the Kanto Dex size, but half of those Pokemon are just Gen 5 Pokemon, so. We'll go into here. What do you sell? Tiny mushrooms! An ordinary mushroom, sell low. Slowpoke Tail, very tasty, sell high. Pokeball pushing. The experiment worked like a charm. Magikarp are just worthless, but Gyarados are big money makers. My favorite thing is if you randomize this, the Gyarados become... oh, I need to get Scyther back out. The Gyarados, Shiny Gyarados is a random shiny, which is neat. Last time I did it, it was Blossom. No, not change box. Deposit. Goodbye. So back to team building in Oris. Like, I don't want to use Pikachu because I would like to use Pikachu in Leaf Green Fire Red. Just haven't used Pikachu in a while, and it's a Kanto staple. You get really, really early. It is in Viridian Forest. Super early, which in this game is post game. It's Safari Zone in Ruby Sapphire Emerald, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't really want to Safari Zone. That's pretty late. I'm not against it, but that's a bit late. So I figure if I want to use it in Gen 3 and it's really early in the Gen 3 game, I might as well use it in that game. That leaves Electrode, Magneton, Manectric, Plus or Minin, but let's be honest, we're not using Plus or Minin. I can do so much with my Pokemon, it's super fun. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another electric type I'm missing. Chinchou's in the game, but Chinchou's also is really, really late. I do want to use Chinchou again, or I would be interested. I don't have to. I'd be interested in using Chinchou again in the later game because it gets Volt Absorb and Illuminate. Water Absorb is an ability, but it gets Volt Absorb. Arguably better because you resist water types anyway. You're neutral to electric types, so Volt Absorb, you definitely are now resistant to electric fully. This is a Sandshrew. Okay, so what do we say here? Probably... Actually, it doesn't get, like, any ground moves. There's a reason I've not used Sandshrew. It doesn't get ground moves, so I'm not afraid. I'm more afraid of Poison Sting, if I'm being honest. So yeah, so Pikachu out of the equation, because I'd like to use it in... I guess I could use Magnemite in those games, too, or something, or Voltorb, but... Makes most sense to use Pikachu there. You get Voltorb and Magnemite both earlier in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald than you would get Pikachu in those games. You get Pikachu in Leaf Green, Fire Red, so it's just logical sense to use those there. Sandslash. You know what? Steve is also, again, really close. Steve isn't going to be, like, crazy useful, like, for important fights. Not good against either of the gyms. Bug moves aren't really a thing yet, so not going to be useful for, like, Will or Karen, crazily, so I'll let it lead, but if there's a better matchup here, I'll just use them. And for Zubat, I will go back into Steve, just because why not? So, I would like to use Gardevoir. I don't think I've actually used Gardevoir in a Gen 3 playthrough, like, that's finished. So that's one. If I don't go Gardevoir... If I go Claydol and Ruby, then Gardevoir would be an Emerald. And then what was the other Pokemon I had? Oh, Doduo. Doduo is a Safari Zone Pokemon. Ooh, cool. We're getting an evolution. Lantern. Yeah. Lantern. That's cool. That is a little bit earlier than I thought, because it's still 27? Yeah, 20. I didn't realize it was 27. So let's check out stats here. Still very, very, very balanced. Big HP stat, though. Okay, so if we go through there, they take our money, so we're going to go up this way. And fight the trainer. We're going to Lake Ridge 2. Let's play for a little while. The other interesting Pokemon that is on my list. So, I've put down a list of Pokemon that I'm interested in. And there's a couple types that I want to check off. Or, depending on my weaknesses, I'm like, okay. Actually, really, types I want to check off. It's... My two rules, basically, are... Water type, because I love water types and I don't like not using water types, and either a grass or electric type, because I would like to be able to hit water super effectively, especially in the game where, until I guess Alola, but Alola is, you don't really surf on the water between the islands, it's just kind of there, but you travel through boat. You have to, surf through Hoenn, so where there's that many water types, I would like a grass or a electric. I guess, arguably, because Swampert is a starter, an electric type is a little bit better. I'm going to save again just because. I guess you could argue electric type is a little bit better because Pelipper and Tentacruel, and Swampert is, rare, right? Because it's a starter to see. There's maybe one trainer in the game that has one. One or two or something. Maybe your, Mayor Brendan, right, has it. Pokemaniac Brent. Lickitung, that's interesting. Steve. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go into Orso. Orso, I meant to click on to do. Whoops. Well, I guess we're using Orso. Throw the boulder. That's something I thought it was. I was thinking about doubling up because I'm a little scared of Wallace. I had trouble with Wallace when I last played through Emerald, and that was with Magneton and Breloom. Sceptile is definitely a better grass type, but I know water has a lot of ice coverage. But even Magneton doesn't have great special defense, so it kind of gets killed by the water moves, even though it doesn't have to worry about, random ice coverage. But I'm a little scared, so I was thinking about doubling electric there, but I'm also like, if I go electric in a, then that would mean my electric type does have to be like Electrode or Magneton or something. And as I said before, I'm not sure I really want to do that. I'm just not sure how much I really want to use either of those two Pokemon. I've used Magneton before. I love Magnezone. I kind of would rather just wait until I play a later game and use that evolution line. Or when Steel's more of an important, a bit better of an offensive type, physical special splits change, Magnezone's going to be actually good. Some question marker, I made fun of my Pokemon. Darn it, my Pokemon's great. So let's say I just go main electric and I don't worry about that. That takes out, that's something there for the Ruby playthrough. So I'd have Blaziken, Zangoose, electric type, probably main electric, and then either Claydol or Gardevoir. Again, another Nidoking. We're going to Orso this time. No, do. I'm so bad at that. I keep thinking Rock Orso, so I think Orso's the rock. No, it's not. Oh, double kick. Okay. I guess I knew that it had that, but but yeah, that's my thought process there. Oh yeah, so Pokemon that I'm interested. I am interested in Huntail because Huntail is kind of on that list of forgotten-ish Pokemon when it comes to the games. It's underwater, right? Clamperl's underwater. And you get it. You only get underwater, I think, after the 7th gym. I think that's where you get the dive ability to use that outside of battle. So that's even later than I used Walrein when I did Ruby last, and that's even later than that, really. But the only other game that Huntail is available earlier in, I was looking it up, right? And on the different websites, like, they tell you, I'm going to switch out here. They tell you a little bit of, like, it's Feint Attack that To-Do has. They tell you a little bit of, like, this Pokemon is seen here, but the only thing that I could think of that would be, like, I guess a better place to use it in is it popped up in an area, the area where you go to, like, the place where you transfer Pokemon from previous gens that's in Gen 4. That's by Sandgem Town going the other way. It's technically there on the Pokédex, but it's not in the Sinnoh Pokédex, so I don't think that's an option until, like, post-game. And there's a few, where it says you can get this here, but it's a post-game, you can get it. Like, you can get Shroomish in the Safari Zone in Gen 4. You can't get it before the game's over. It's a post-game National Dex Pokemon. I did see that you can actually use, you can get the full Dex in BDSP. I think that could be fun instead of doing a Diamond and Pearl playthrough, because let me tell you, I'm playing through Pearl and I hate it, and I'm not sure how much I want to play through that again. I don't have a rival battle. Yes, save. Okay. That was bizarre. OBS randomly disconnected. Okay. I hate Pearl so much. We're gonna go back because I need to do the item thing. But not an internet issue, just OBS decided to completely collapse, and I do not know what caused that. Anyway. The, I hate the Pro Pokédex so much. I'm not sure how... There are some Pokemon I actually do want to use in those games that are, I think, just a bit easier to use in newer Pokemon games, as, again, you get more moves and there's more options. I think some Pokemon are more viable, because old games, sometimes the Pokemon just have no moves, and they just suck. And the physical special split also, too, you know, before that for some things. So, deposit. We need to deposit this. This. I'll use the Super Potion as early as I can. And I guess I'll go sell the nugget to the Rockets. Assuming they give me market value. Sell. Nugget. Yeah, market value, sweet. Yeah. There you go. Enjoy your nugget. But it could be fun to national decks early. You know, using like Pokemon Home and everything like that, right? GTS. And just having a team of Pokemon that you would not even have access to, because you can use the national decks is the full national decks for those games. You know, they've stopped letting you use all the Pokemon, but for Gen 4, they have all the pre-Gen 4 Pokemon. You know, it's like the original games where you could use all the Pokemon that were in there. There's no restrictions. There's no, oh, sorry, you know, Shroomish, well, no, Shroomish was literally in the post-game. No, like, oh, Mudkip's not available, you can't transfer it either because, you know, we decided it's not going to be in this gen, you know, anything like that. But that could be fun. That could be really fun. Using just some crazy stuff. Yeah, I go up here for the max potion. Anything here? No. But Huntail basically is, just in Gen 6, it's a Zerbe. And then it's, you know, underwater. And I thought about, you know, those are my only two options to really use Huntail. So if I don't use it in X and Y, then, I mean, there's no other really good place. And if Swampert's the Oris starter, then no. You know, not doubling up on water. But it's super late in the game. Which kind of worries me because, you know, that's not a lot of time to grind from, like, level 20. Even with Switch Training, that's not a lot of time to get your Pokemon up to the proper level. What exactly what moves do I have here? You do have Thunder Wave. Okay. So we're going to switch you. I didn't go heal. That's funny. I don't really need to though. I just have to do this. So we're gonna try to catch Red Gyarados. There's no reason not to. And then hopefully start the Rockets. I did get Walrein leveled up, to be fair, properly, but I think I'd have to get... I would have to get Dive immediately, but Clamperl gets... Oh, it's going to do a good amount. Okay. Clamperl gets... You want to evolve Clamperl basically right away because it doesn't get any moves. So anytime if you don't, every level you wait, you're missing out. Possibly if you hit the wrong level, you know. You're missing out on like possibly Bite or Crunch if you level up too much, you know. So it's not really worth it to. That has nothing. No, you know what? I'm gonna keep Chinchou in. And then I might switch into Geodude if I have Headbutt. Let's go. So I would like to use Hunter, I'll just worry about it a little bit. It just feels very, very late to be using something like that. It's not what I like to see. Dragon Rage. Stats. You do have Headbutt. No, this isn't a Nuzlocke or anything. This is just a casual playthrough. We're gonna stay in. We're gonna stay and get a free switch so nothing comes in and takes a Dragon Rage and is instantly under half. Oh, Leer, okay. That's fine by me. If I don't use Huntail as a water type, I'm thinking maybe Sharpedo or Crawdaunt. Those are two more Pokemon that would be better later because of the physical special split, but they're yes. We're actually gonna go into Steve. I don't think, because I'm a low level, I don't think Headbutt's gonna kill. Shouldn't kill. Yeah. Oh, crit. I was about to say, wow, that did a lot. I guess I was under-leveled, to be fair. We're just going to let something to do, because it'll tank Thrashes a bit easier. Okay, we're going to go through both of our Ultra Balls, and then try the Great Ball, and then try the Pokeballs. Nope. I also put on my list, I think I put in Whiscash, because I think it gets like Earthquake or something. Anytime you get a Pokemon that gets a move like Earthquake, you know, especially at a reasonable level, it automatically is, you know, okay, you know? Oh, it confused itself. Oh, yeah. Oh, great. This is why we saved our game. Actually, no, you know, fuck it. There's no reason for me to catch this. Oh, hi, Lance. I don't think it matters in the end. I'm not going to use the Gyarados. It's going to sit in the box. Yes, I came here because of the rumors. Okay, so we're still at 48 minutes. Okay. I know it, like, blacked out for a second. Looks like that didn't matter too much. Oh, wait, shoot. I forgot, because of all that, what happened. Well, I didn't unpop out the chat, but the chat went behind, so I couldn't see it. He teleported away. Actually, what do you have to say? Huh. This is another place with cut trees, if I'm not mistaken, but I put my cut person away. And I'm not teaching Scyther cut. Oh, I thought I could access this. Is that wrong? Oh, no, you know what? I know what you have to do. You have to go down and around. Maybe I will go get my cut Pokemon then. Might as well if I'm going down that way. And I'll heal. You have to go to the left where we fought the picnicker, that like surf area. And that's how you get all the way over there. So yeah, one team is Blaziken Zangoose for Ruby. Then Sceptile Doduo for Emerald. One's getting Claydol, one's getting Gardevoir. Thought about using Camerupt. Thought about Torkoal too for Emerald. I've also thought about Hariyama. Just covering the two Blaziken types because I like them. I haven't used Hariyama in that old of a game. I only used it in I don't think it's in Gen 4 or Gen 5. Maybe it's in Gen 5, but I don't think it is. I could be wrong. It's not in Gen 4. So I used it in Omega Ruby when I originally played through. Okay. gonna deposit Steve again. And pick up Bellsprout. Yeah, so I put Whiscash and Wailord as possible water types. Sharpedo and Crawdont, who both, by the way, have like, I think it's like 85 and 90 or 90 and 95 special attack stats. So they are both perfectly good special attackers in the old games. It's not as good as a physical attack, but still perfectly fine. You're never going to be like, oh no, you know, this is unusable or anything like that. Okay, there's water. It's actually another trainer. Oh, a country. Yes. Which kind of berry is this? Mr. Berry? Bitterberry, okay. It's fine too. And then, otherwise it's a mix. The non-Sceptile team has, like, some grass types on it. There's the, like I said, Torkoal, Camerupt, and, like, Hariyama for, yes, that's who I want leading. For the Emerald team with Sceptile. There's just some other Pokemon that I think would be cool. Aggron's on there. I'm not sure I'd want to use Aggron in older gens. Just some of these things, like Steel type isn't as useful in older gens, and it's mainly like Metal Claw, you know? I think it's Iron Tail later. But this is pre-moves like Head Smash. Carp. Then, let's see. What else is on that list? I'm trying to think, what else would I have added? I think I was thinking about Ludicolo and Shiftry, but then I was like, I really hate these movesets and how their stone evolutions are. I do have Flygon on the list. Flygon, and I think Altaria is on one. Altaria is on the Ruby list, not the Emerald list, because Emerald's got Doduo, so I've got a flying type there. And then I currently have Claydol sitting on the Blaziken team, so Flygon's currently sitting on the Emerald side. But I don't know. I'm kind of like torn. I think it would be pretty cool. I think it would be cool to use Flygon. That'd be a neat one. I'm not exactly against using Camerupt in both, though I am trying to generally spread out Pokemon and use different things. I figure I'm gonna double up at some points in time, but most likely it's gonna be like Diamond Pearl, because Diamond Pearl stink. They're just, the Pokemon in those games is just like, there's like nothing. I swear. There's Weavile, who you can't get its evolution out of until Victory Road, by the way. I guess Sneasel is pretty good, but Weavile and Abomasnow are the only two ice types. Luxray, Pachirisu, and Pikachu are the only electric types. I was going to use, in my personal Pearl copy, I was going to use Croagunk, because I think Croagunk would be cool. I've never used Toxicroak before, and then, what do you know, Toxicroak is only on some days in the Safari Zone. You know, use the binoculars. It's like, oh my gosh. Why is this the case with everything? I hate it so much. We'll go this way first. Bunch of countries. I can always, if I run out of bag space too, I can give something an item temporarily. This feels like there's a lot more here, but I might not have come up to this in gold because I didn't have a cut Pokemon. So I might have just let it sit. I never came back over here. Okay, item over here. Ooh, Team 43. Okay, what is that? I have no idea. It is... Oh, detect. Okay, that is totally lame. Huh. Here I thought it'd be something cool. Guess we'll go this way. And there's another item over there, and there might be a hidden item over there to the left. You have strayed far. Here I have meditated. Inside me, a new power has been awakened. Let me share my power with your Pokemon. Take this, child. TM10. This might be Calm Mind. Well, no, that's what Calm Mind is. No, TM10 is Ice Beam. Hidden Power. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know who I want to give that to. I'm not sure you can buy extra copies of that. If you could buy extra copies of that, then like awesome. But I don't think you can. You can in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. That's another nice thing with those. I wonder if you can leave Green and Fire Red. I don't know offhand, because I didn't really use Hidden Power for a little bit, but last playthrough I was like, let me do my Hidden Powers, and I was like, I ended up getting Bug on Almaldo, which was really nice, because that was better than Fury Cutter. And I got, again, the Ghost on X-Cloud, which was super clutch. I was trying not to team build ahead of time, but it's hard for me not to team build. Well, actually, partially is there's version exclusives, so I had to make sure, you know, there is, because like in this case, I was probably going to lean Sapphire. I even had my thumbnail ideas going for Sapphire, and then I was like, I would like to use Zangoose, and because that's Ruby exclusive, I was like, well, guess we're going to be playing Ruby instead of Sapphire, and I have to do my thumbnail idea. I think I can do roughly the same thing except with different colors, with the idea that I had. Yes, cut. Okay, I know we're gonna have a rival battle coming up when we go. Okay. That is everything over here. Yeah. So I think we've got everything over there. I don't think there's anything else to... you know, I'll go up just in case there's something around this corner, but I don't think there is. I think this is just the top of the road. Yeah. Okay, cool. But after that, you know, it's hard for me just to not team build, because I like team building. That is my favorite. I'm going to lean this way, and I'm going to turn this over this way. That is like my favorite thing to do in Pokemon, is I like to team build. I like to build teams, and that is my favorite part. So, I mean, some of it too. I mean, I can't help it. I just can't. I literally cannot help myself. I'm sitting there like, I don't know, like showering or something, and I'm thinking just literally about what Pokemon I would like to use in the next game, and I'm not even there yet. Looking at, you know, what options there are. My only rules is, yeah, I want a grass or electric type so I can hit water. I think electric technically is better in a way because it's the only thing it's not going to be able to do anything against is Swampert, and that's not really seen in against trainers often. But there's definitely some, you know, part flying, part poison types for the grass. But grass resists water too, so, you know, I guess, who knows. Bill's PC, because we need to deposit Bellsprout again. And pick back up Steve. Yeah. Wait, no, the items too. There we go. Because I got, what, like an elixir or something? Those are useful items for like the, oh, and a forest store. Those are like useful items for really late in the game, but... So move equals 14, so now there's 17 items. I have so many lemonades, and I probably buy more lemonades. I think we're gonna just sell the super potion. Oh, just shoot, can't do that now. Never mind. Yeah, okay, I guess I'll use my super potion when I'm in here somewhere. The stairs are right here. Okay. So we did get to Rocket. It just took us, you know, an hour. I'll be honest, I did not think Mount Mortar and that route would, we're going to take that long. So we're going to lead with Steve for now. I hate this part of this game. This is my least favorite part of Gen 2. I haven't played Crystal, I've played Gold though, so like, yeah, I know this. You have so many fights against like the same two freaking rocket guys, and it is obnoxious. Literally the same two guys. Okay, nobody has a good dark move unless I led with Teddy. 'Cause obviously Pursuit isn't going to be doing a lot, because this is a Scyther. Headbutt crit. I'll take that. Get the level, so I'll be stronger next time I fight one of them. Agility, oh, that's pretty cool. Yes. Ooh. Ooh, this is... Yeah, no, I want agility. I think I get Sword Dance later, but until then, I'll go agility. Zubat. I don't want to have to use all my headbutts here, so I'm going to go into... Ooh. We're going to get Orso some XP. I haven't really been using Orso too much, so... Good opportunity. We'll see if Headbutt can kill. Sweet. Okay. So for the first guy, I can probably combination of Scythe or Teddy Ursa. Second guy, it's like a Rattata and something else, I think. Zubat. Okay, Zubat. Maybe it's Zubat and Rattata. I think one of them's a rat. Headbutt, I guess, because I'm in. I want to make sure I kill it. I know it doesn't have wing attack, but I don't want to get like confused or something. It'd be obnoxious. Grimer. Okay. Our options are Dedue or Matt, and Matt is over-leveled compared to everything, so let's not use Matt unless we have to. Grimer. Only thing I can do annoying is minimize, but I'm faster, so it's not going to be able to minimize. Take it out. The dude's very close to leveling up. I'm gonna say and I want to get my level. I have 30 magnitudes. I'm gonna go for another magnitude. Magnitude 6. I just do not understand why they had to do this, where you fight the same like 2 rockets, like 4 times. Like, Harden, really? I have defense curl, right? There's no difference between those moves. Yeah, I want to keep defense curl. I don't think it really matters that much, but... Savannah's cams are in the Pokemon statues. We'll keep appearing until you trip the secret switch. I don't know if I can go back or not. I forget. So you can go down around that way. Or over this way. There's an item over there. And there's a trainer who's not the same as those guys. So I'm going to switch my lead into something else for this battle. This is once a something like Ninja Hideout. Is that, wait, did you say Ninja? I'm going to look at my stream. Yeah, Ninja Hideout. Wow. There are traps to confound intruders like you. Scientist Jed. Oh, perfect. I led with my fire type. I will say, based off of where I was in gold, I don't think Zuko is going to be evolved until like the very end of the game. The very end of the main, the Johto region. Well, we're going to stay in. I beat Lance with basically a team of level 35s. I forget if this is level 32 or 36. If this is 36, we actually might grind just a little bit, so I go into the Elite Four with Typhlosion at the very least. I can live with it being Graveler and Kadabra, I think. That'd be the only other thing if I grind, is I grind to get a Kadabra and Graveler evolved. the randomizer lets you adjust those settings. I didn't randomize anything, but you can adjust it so you can fix the trait evolutions. And then obviously we got Lantern. Ursaring is, I think, in the third. I think it's 30. I think it's 30. And then Azuko, or not Azuko, Steve is just going to be Steve. Steve's not going to be Scissor for a little bit. Guard spec, okay. That's not that useful. That's money. Do we go to the left and try to... Well, there's an item over here, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to put Steve back in front. We might as well at least go get the item. Then we can decide after that. Steve, there you go. Nope, not stats. Switch, there you go. Fight these two, save and then fight the two rockets. Yes. I would like to peep the bottom of this. Okay. Hello, one viewer. It says I have one concurrent, so. Rocket Grunt would like to battle. Sent out Drowsy. Ooh, fun! The same rocket again. The same two rockets. At least they could come after me with different rocket grunts and not the same two. At least I one-shot. That makes me feel better. Zubat, yes. We're going to Teddy. Get that XP. I do believe I'm gonna play the post game for this. I have thought about, you know, if I want to or not. But I think I will. I mean, I think that's part of Johto, right, is doing the post game. And full experience, like, I think that's worth it. I don't know for, like, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, right, because there's not really anything in the post game. But for, like, this, where you have the entire Kanto region, I think I'd be short changing it to not do that. And my friend also told me, who has played through Crystal, because I've only done Gold, is that I like Crystal's post game more, so it seems like there's a little bit of changes. I think some of the it sounds like some of the Suicune stuff is more post game, so maybe that's part of it. That'd be a change between Gold, so. Grimer, yes. To do. There's a mid-late part of me that's like, oh, I'm gonna be ready to move on. I don't always play through the post games when I just play through the games myself. Gold was the first time in a little bit. I beat X, but I didn't go through the post game. I kind of moved on to Gen 2 because I really just wanted to play Gold badly. I've done a little bit in Platinum, but not a ton. Not exactly like heavily feeling it. Like, oh yeah, you know, I really. I haven't had that like crazy urge to go, like, play through the post game area Platinum. I don't usually do it in Black and White or Black and White 2. I know the what the errors are. There's a few parts of the region that you don't have access to, right? X and Y, as I said before, that's a story, not new places. Well, there's one new place, but I have no idea about Sun and Moon. Offhand. I wonder if I can go back. And then Sword and Shield, I think it's just store, it's not new area or anything like that. There's actually only one or two more of these. There's less than I thought. I thought there was more. Yeah, here you go. Rocket Grunt wants to battle. And then Scarlet and Violet, you have the DLC. I do have the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, and Sword and Shield. When I play through them, I'll do the DLC things too, at least some of it. I'm not sure how much, because it's kind of like, how do I put it? There's no like trainers in the water, it's just different Pokemon. I enjoyed the Island of Armor, and then I did a bit of the Crown Tundra. We'll see, because some of that is just chasing legends. You know, do I want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Definitely Scarlet and Violet's, because that was actually pretty fun, because it's all double battles and everything's a really high level, so it's... I had a lot of difficulty with it. So, I think that would be fun to do. I'm not going to be doing Legends ZA. I don't own it. I don't actually have plans on owning it either. I'm not an ARPG guy. And combine an ARPG with we're announcing the DLC before the game even launches, and it's only going to come out like barely 2 months after the game. You know, I was never a guy to say, no, it's not cut content. You know, it's still coming out a good amount later. You know, like 6 months, half a year. You know, that is half a year. 6 months, you know, plus later for the 2 DLC areas. And for the main series games, they have been completely, I don't want to switch. They've been like completely new like areas, you know, not just like extra part of the map or something, right? But when you're being announced before the game comes out to come out 2 months after, you cannot convince me that is anything other than we cut out the post game and we want you to pay for it now. So screw that. If it was a mainline game, it'd be more tempting. Like, I might have to go against my morals, you know, like, I might bend. But ARPG? Hell no. Not my style. I actually kind of want Triangle Strategy. I'd like to try it. Oh, no, I don't think it's around here. Or is it? No, I don't think it's around here. I also got a new Fire Emblem game. I had a video on it, a Matt's Mystery Mail. But it's on my shelf. I got a... What is this? No, we just saw this is Rat. I'm gonna go to Orso for this time. I got Radiant Dawn. I would love to get Path of Radiance, but I don't have a GameCube or a Wii. I've got a Wii U, so that's unfortunate. I can't justify a purchase for a game when I can't play it, and it's an expensive game, but I've thought about maybe trying to do a Dolphin or something. Could I stream that, you know? Maybe. And then I could definitely stream Radiant Dawn. Should be able to. Yeah, no, we can't. I think I could stream that. Yeah, that'd work. I've never tried to stream the Wii U. Ooh, Nugget. We could do Mario Kart technically on the Wii U as well. Oh, there's one more. Okay, we're gonna save one more time. I would do Mario Kart Wii Time Trials, but I think it's just easier for me to do my Switch. I kind of just enjoy playing on the Switch, and I'm a little bit better at... I feel like I'm better at time trialing 8 Deluxe than I am Wii. World, I'd probably be better at Wii, because again, World is so tech-heavy. It's just crazy how, with like the charge jumps and everything like that. I feel like I can only dream of getting better at that one. I'm not as good as those tracks in 8. I'm much better at precision. Things like the circuits and stuff like that. I love playing the circuit tracks. Those are my favorite. I love Yoshi's circuit. I love all the Mario circuits, basically. I like the newest Mario circuit, the one that's the Morbius loop or whatever, Morbius strip. That's probably my least favorite. I think it's a fun track, but it's anti-gravity heavy, and I don't like the anti-gravity quite as much. But DS Mario Circuit, GBA Mario Circuit, SNES Mario Circuit, I've time trialed those a bunch, Yoshi Circuit a bunch. Technically, by the standards, those aren't my best times, though. I need to get my Tokyo Blur time down, because I also was doing the non... There's no shroom ones, which was interesting. I do not know the history of these. I had heard that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did not have standards for a while. And then I was looking them up just to see if maybe they were created, and I found some, so I think they are the community standards. But I got my first and only Titan time on a Tokyo Blur. I got close to it, and I was like, I think I can get this, and I kept going until I got it. So, ooh, yay for me, I got something to Titan. There's, there's 7 3-part standards, and then 1 final one, so 22 total, we want to do here. There's beginner, there's 3 levels for each of them except for the last, so, beginner, C, B, and A. Then there's intermediate, advanced. Then it's magnitude. Then it is expert, hero, titan, myth, and then god. And there's only one god. Once you just set the god standard, the god standard. The other ones are there's C, B, and A of each one. So I got to Titan C on Tokyo Blur. No items. So I guess I'll have to grind the item one a little bit to get my time to be comparable. If I can get a, if I can upgrade a little bit, or so is what I was looking for. Upgrade a little bit my computer, I would like to stream and also do some videos on my timesheet. Because even though like there's a new Mario Kart game, because I play time trials, you know, I can kind of play whichever game I just want to time trial in the most. You know, it's not as important for me to be on the newest game or anything like that. I probably would get more reviews on the newest game, but, you know, it's not a must. And I could still time trial that if I wanted a little bit, but it's a bit easier for me to play whichever one I choose as opposed to just doing the... I'm not going to press on that or go over that. Saving, don't turn off the power. This is not where you do your rival fight. Okay, it's just Lance. Sweet. It's gonna heal me. I guess I'll stay leading with Steve because Steve's my lowest level still. Hello, Rocket. I'm gonna switch positions again to my other arm. Anyway. There we go. Venonat, that's an interesting Pokemon to use. So I could do any, really, Mario Kart game to stream, but I'd like to do my timesheet and everything like that. I think that'd be fun. I think they give motivation. Not just having the standards being around, but having a video on it would give motivation to at least go through and play occasionally and try to get some times down, you know, throughout the year. At some point, I could do that with Mario Kart World, but I would need to practice a little bit more. But like I said, I could make that into a series, even just getting better at that game. Honestly, I know for how much chaos there is, and it's fun to play. There's gonna be no items over this way. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there's just one dude here. I really enjoy time trialing. That's just my favorite part. And I also like playing those types of games more than so I was playing NASCAR Thunder 03, classic game. And you know, it's fun, but I kind of like being able to drift a little bit. So that makes me like Mario Kart, My MX vs. ATV Unleashed on the Xbox. Banger game with a great soundtrack. Yes, Skullbat flinched. But you can drift a little bit in that with basically all the vehicle types because they're all dirt-based, you know, they're not road. So not that NASCAR Thunder isn't fun, but I kind of like those games that you can do that a little bit in. We're going to save again because the rival's coming up, but I don't think it's down there. I think it's in the one below Goldenrod, if I'm not mistaken. That's where it is. Yeah, I got Scyther. Oh, hello. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use Scyther because you don't really get the Metal Coat, I think, until post-game to evolve it. You know, if I want to use Scissor. I mean, they're both good, but Scissor's pretty cool, and it's a bit harder to use. But I decided, why not? Let's go with it. Scyther's cool. This is the team vlog. We got Scyther, Kadabra, Quilava, Tedursa, Graveler, and Lantern. I want to keep leading with Steve. No reason not to. Actually, no. This is a Scientist, and the Scientist is either going to have a Poison type or it's going to have Magnemite. So we're going to switch Zuko up front because Zuko's also level 25. Yeah, Scyther's still good. I do like being able to use like a Pokemon like Scissor, which is not as... It's harder because you have to trade evolution it with a Metal Coat, but Scyther's still good, so... Half the team is trade evos because I've got the randomizer to where you either just need the item or just get to like level 40. So they'll all evolve eventually. And this is also the game with arguably the longest post game. So there's a bit more. We're going into to do. This is the game with the longest post game, so there's more opportunity to use the Pokemon going forward. That being said, yeah, I knew it was gonna self-destruct. Based off of gold, I didn't even get to level 50, so it's not crazy. If Hydreigon was around, I'd probably still have Zweilous, you know, in this game, but it's still a long post game, so there's more opportunity here. 926. I believe it's 40 though, so it's still going to be a little bit, and I might have Graveler and Kadabra for the Elite Four, unless I grind a bit. I did it with in gold with a team of basically average of 35. I mean, nothing's randomized, but I can still use the randomizer to fix that, or to change that, which is nice. That's the entire reason, because I would be a lot more limited if it was impossible for me to do trade evos. So, yeah, this is literally, that is the only thing that's changed, as I switched to the trade evos to be regular. Everything else, this is a normal, perfectly normal crystal run that I know nothing about. Though I played gold, so I know gold. All my knowledge is on the assumption of gold. I don't know what changes when it comes to like Suicune and stuff. Actually, yes, because I've not been finding good Pokemon to face Zugo against. And this is a great opportunity. Otherwise, I get that level for Scyther, since it's so close. The thing about Scyther that I would have liked is to get the Metal Coat a little bit earlier, because I think Scyther gets, what was it? It gets Swords Dance at a level, and then it gets, ooh, got the Burn. What move is it? Is it Wing Attack or a Flying move? Or is it like Slash? I feel like it's Wing Attack or something. It gets a move, and then that same level, if you evolve it, it gets like Metal Claw Scissor, which is cool. But I think I'm going to be past that level by the time I get to the Metal Coat. And I don't want to ditch Scyther or like purposely not get Scyther levels, you know, for a bit. Oh, there's an item up there. Let's go get that. Actually, let's look this up real quick. This will just be better. Okay. If we go to Scyther. Cerebi. There we go. So Scyther. I actually, until I beat gold like a month ago, before I started the stream, I finished gold. I couldn't help myself. I was craving it too much. I really wanted to play Gen 2. I'm not sure there's a move relearner in this game. Move relearner. Crystal. Yeah, there's no move relearner. You access a special one via Pokemon Stadium 2 after beating the Elite Four. Yeah, no. So no, that's not an option. Yeah, Scyther gets Wing Attack at level 30, and Scissor gets Metal Claw. So technically I would have liked to do that, because they get them. There's no, you know, when you evolve, sometimes Pokemon take longer to get their moves. There's none of that. I'm gonna go this way first. There's none of that with Scyther. Scyther gets, yeah, I know. I'm gonna switch to go. Scizor and Scyther get moves at the same level, so there's no, like, Scyther gets its moves later or anything like that once it evolves. But I lose out on the ability to get both Metal Claw and Wing Attack, which kind of stinks. But it's not the end of the world, because it's still, oh, wait, I got an idea. So, we're gonna have this turn into, we're gonna plan this out here. So Ditto's gonna become something. What do we want Ditto to become? What would be the easiest to, okay. We're gonna switch into Steve and have Ditto transform into Steve, And then we're gonna have we're gonna switch Steve out for Dedue, and Ditto's not gonna be doing anything against Dedue. There we go. Metal Claw is not that good though, because it's really only good against like, well, I guess it's good against ice and it's good against rock. So there's some downsides to not being able to get Metal Claw, but I think there's a Steel Wing TM in Kanto, so I could still get Steel Wing if I wanted it. So it's not the end of the world. I'll be excited to get Wing Attack, because that would be really nice. Everybody gets 102. Haha. Thinking is not my strong, or thinking is my strong suit, not battle. Well, you clearly didn't. Yeah. I had to take a second to think, because I was like, well, I want to be careful, because like if I have to go into Matt, right? I don't want Matt to take like a strength, you know, because that's gonna hurt a stab strength. But that worked out perfectly. I guess it would have been better if I led with the yuck. I guess it would have been better if I led with Steve to begin with, but Grunt wants to battle. You kind of have to do that with the Gen 2 games, because Gen 2 is so old, there's not as many... we're going to switch into Duos again. There's not as many moves in these games, so there's a lot of Pokemon that get, like, just nothing. Like, Jump Off literally gets 2 attack moves by level up, and even if you include TMs, it gets, like, Giga Drain when it got Mega Drain at level 40-something. It literally gets Tackle, and then it gets Giga Drain. It doesn't get another attacking move until Giga Drain at, like, a crazy high level, and then, or Mega Drain. And then you can, like, Giga Drain TM, Headbutt TM, and there's, like, one other grass move you can get by TM. But there's a lot of that, so you kind of have to pick and choose in these. That's one thing I like with the new games, is having the move relearner. I like being able to not be forced to choose between, you know, like Numel, I saw this earlier. Numel gets Flamethrower and Camerupt does not. So I would either have to keep Numel until 41 and miss out on Rock Slide, which you get when you evolve at level 33. It's not an evolve move, it's a level 33 move for Camerupt, and that's the level you evolve. So I either have to choose between the two, but in like the new games I can just relearn. Yeah. They don't as much work differently, it's just there's not as many. Like if you go to Oris, there's Pokemon that are learning new moves like every 3 levels. And in this game, like the Pokemon get moves way less often because there's just way less moves. Okay, we're gonna trash the Guard Spec Index defense, because that's just taking up space and I'm not going all the way back to sell them for pennies. Guard Spec, toss, screw that, I don't need it. Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep the Nugget. Yeah, don't need Dex Special. Okay. Protein. Who do I want to give the protein to? So, options are Ursaring, Orso, or Dedue, Orso, and Steve will be the ones who want protein. I know Ursaring's going to evolve and get more of an attack stat. So it's what, 72 is what that Scyther was? 50, 71. Okay, I know I'm going to evolve and get more, but I'm going to go with Orso because that is by far the worst attack stat at the moment. Yeah, I know. That's such a good quality. You know, people complain sometimes with some of the things about Gen 9 and Gen 8. And I get to an extent, you know, some of the complaints. Like, I always wish there was just like a hard mode, you know? Then like not a self-inflicted Nuzlocke, you know, like playing Fire Emblem or something, you know? But even just having a bit higher levels of things, you know? But, Orso, yes. There's so many good quality of life features, like being able to do your moves. And relearn moves from like pre-evolution, so again you're not stuck with like certain Pokemon not getting certain moves. And Ice Heal, I might just dump that too because I've got the berries. We're gonna save here again. I don't think the rivals yet, but just in case. Being able to do that, being able to access your box anywhere is really nice. You can just switch Pokemon freely basically, and that's so much nicer than before. Like, these are things that I would love to have access in some of these other games. Like, I'd love, you know, people complain about HMs. Hello. People complained about HMs, right? For good reason. Like in Hoenn's Elite Four and Kalos's Elite Four and Gen 6, you know, you have to go take things out and go grab your HM move for like cut, you know, or strength. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And now too with like GTS, it's so easy to be able to like GTS Pokemon. I bred Axews trying to shiny hunt, and I did not get the shiny, by the way. I bred a bunch of Axews going for the shiny, and now I have so many that I can literally just put up an Axew. Was this Zubat? I think this was Zubat. I can just put up an Axew in GTS and ask for anything in return that's like not crazy. And if I'm just like, you know what, I want to breed Araquanid, you know, I can go for Dupiters and get a bunch of level 1 Dupiters that people already did some of the hard work for me with egg movesets. And then I can use a 6 IV Ditto to just breed the rest of it. You know, like breed the IV spread I want if it's the wrong 5 IV. It's just super. There's just so many things that are great quality of life enhancements. I know some people complain about the XP share getting every Pokemon, but because you can access your box now, you can just use larger teams and that spreads the XP out. And back to HMs, because you can access your box anywhere now. Like it would be perfect to have HMs because you could just click the button real quick and go to your box and then boom, strength, and then move it back. I know, that's what made HM stink, is you couldn't remove them, and a lot of the moves sucked, or some of the moves sucked. Strength isn't bad, but if you're not using a normal type, it's not always exactly useful. Cut is bad. Rock Smash is really bad. Flash is really bad. Whirlpool's not super useful. Dive isn't super useful. Surf and Waterfall are good, but you don't always want both of them. You don't really need both of them on a Pokemon. Okay, everybody's 26 now at the very least. But now, like, you could go and have a Zigzagoon with, like, your HM move, and you could keep it in your box, and when you need it, you could go switch it out, grab it, use the HM, move it back. So, like, it's totally fine now that you can access your box anywhere. The problem to me was that you couldn't always, you know, you don't want to use that move slot up or that Pokemon slot up. But even that would be fixed in the newer games. I still enjoyed the old ones, though, a lot. I think there's a little bit more, what's the word? Hello. Who's that guy in the cape who's dragon Pokemon? My Pokemon were no match at all. He told me that I don't love and trust my Pokemon enough. I'm furious that I lost to a bleeding heart like him. I don't have time for the likes of you. Did I get the password? I think there's a no, I didn't. I think there's a little bit more soul in some of the item. TM46. I think there's a bit more soul. No, well, no, I wouldn't even say difficulty because like this game has been really easy. I mean, heck, I was always one to grind a little bit at the end to get myself closer. But like, I beat Lance with level 35s. It was a team of Ampharos, Feraligatr, Magmar, no, not... I had Sudowoodo on the team, and then I ditched Sudowoodo. What am I missing here? Okay, there's Raticate Tail. Do I need to talk to one of the other ones? I thought I went everywhere at this point. I'm gonna guess it'd be you. Yeah, okay. I guess I just didn't talk to her. It was Feraligatr, Ampharos, Crobat, Magmar, Girafarig, and I had a Sudowoodo that I ditched for Quagsire because I thought Quagsire would be better for the end of the game. And then I caught a Marowak in the post game. But I wouldn't even say it's, you know, more difficult. Like, not that much more difficult. I think there's just a little bit more soul. Like, a little bit more tiny things. Even though I'm not a big fan of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Like, that's a good example, because there's a lot of tiny little details that are, you know, in there that it kind of feels like are left, you know? It kind of feels like they rushed some of these new games. I would like to use Quagsire in a full playthrough eventually. Probably whenever I play through Silver and I use Chikorita, because it gets access to TM and it gets access to Earthquake really early, which is cool. Headbutt. I'm gonna text my friend now. None of that was crazy important, but yeah. I feel like there's just a lot of like small things that are missing, I guess, that, you know, they feel just like they have a little bit less soul, you know, heart put into them. But I think they're still generally really fun. And I really only think that way until the Switch generation. I think everything up to everything up to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are perfectly fine. I don't have any issues. Like, I mean, there's different problems with each game that, you know, there's a reason some I like more than others, right? But yeah. Haha. I think the open world is generally fun. I think the biggest problems for me in Scarlet and Violet were obviously it handled poorly on this, like the game played bad on the Switch, like it felt the Switch felt underpowered with it. But besides that, I wish the levels scaled as you went through the game. That'd be the biggest thing. But I mean, like, overall, I thought it was generally still pretty fun. Like, I really like Scarlet and Violet, especially now having a Switch too. It plays a lot better. Rocket Executive. I love that they don't have names, they're just Rocket Executive. Hail Giovanni. Okay. One thing too that's really cool is obviously you wish that they had yeah, that's where that staircase was. You obviously wish they had like the full decks when you beat the game. Like, I would like to be able to move all of my old Pokemon, you know, or bring in any Pokemon into those games. But for like the main game, you never had a national dex, right? But there's some great ever since Black 2 and White 2, there's always been at least 300 Pokemon in the Pokédex, like the main decks. I never actually played in dock mode. I played most of my games on the handheld. I really like these are all electrodes. They all self-destruct. Let me go ahead and use that super potion. Because I think I got another one, didn't I? Or did I not? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Or no, I didn't use the other one. Let's super potion to do and switch it to the front. I play almost my games entirely on I actually was playing Sword and Shield just a little bit on the TV next to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't play it like that ever. It was really weird. Anyway, if you wanna know my opinions on the Pokemon games, watch my tier list. I did a tier list like a month ago, where I ranked all the games before I started this playthrough, because I'm gonna go through all the games on stream, or most of them. I'm not gonna play Gold and Silver. That's kind of stupid, but oh great. Haha. Don't be so selfish. Spread the fun around. Where's your sense of honor? You're an accomplice? As they try to gang up on me. I was gonna say, I like breeding in Sword and Shield. It's really easy with the Isle of Armor to just get a bunch of, to breed. It's really easy to breed, and it's really easy to get like protein and stuff. So I do that a bunch, and I was doing that because I was just like, why not? That's what I used to do. It was pretty fun. I was racked by Arbok. Oh, I might need 6. I would have really liked 7 there at least. I still killed. Nice. Good job to do. Level 29. Who's next? Gloom. Awesome. We can go back to Zuko, who's not getting anything right now still. Overall, I like Scarlet and Violet though a lot. I think Scarlet and Violet were still really, despite their flaws, like there's a bunch of things they could have done better. The games should have looked better. They should have played better or run better on the Switch, the original Switch. The levels should have scaled probably better. There was a couple glitches. But even despite all the things I'm like, that could have been better, like they're still super, super fun to play. I hadn't had that much fun in a Pokemon game in a while. Though I'm starting to have fun playing these old ones. The funny thing is once I stopped playing Pokemon Go hardcore, I started enjoying the regular games a lot more than I had been. Murkrow, that's interesting. We're gonna go into Chinchou. Chinchou? No, we're gonna go into Orso. Hey, there is Wooper in Scarlet and Violet. Actually, Wooper was in also in Sword and Shield. Because I always see a bunch of Quagsires, at least in the DLC. I think it was outside of the DLC. Maybe it wasn't outside the DLC. It's at least in the DLC. But honestly, I really like Wooper. Wooper is one of my favorite design Pokemon. I love Quagsire in, is it in this one? I'm gonna check the Pokedex in a second. I think it's a sprite in this one. Total success. Enjoy yourself while you can. Okay, so we gotta beat the Electros now. Okay, they are cool. I was like, I think they are, but I wasn't 100% sure. Come on, I want to go to the Pokedex real quick. Okay, come on, go away. Pokedex. Where is Wooper? I love Wooper's sprite. Look at its smile. Wooper's adorable. That's on my list of that's on my list for when I play through Silver. I was like, I'm gonna use Wooper because Wooper gets Earthquake by level up, and like no ground types get Earthquake by level up. So I'm like, hell yeah, we're using Quagsire next time. Do I have Quagsire in the dex? Oh no, I don't. I love Quagsire sprite too. Quagsire's got a great sprite. Wooper. Okay, I know Geodude is in my lead. I have to kill the Electrodes. I can't imagine playing through a Pokemon game without a water type, because the last time I did it, it sucked. And Wooper doubles up as being a ground type too, which is nice. That's the one nice thing is with Surf and Waterfall, is you automatically know that no matter what your water type is, you're going to get good water moves. So, Quagsire getting Earthquake, I know full well I'm going to get Earthquake and Surf and have good water and ground moves. Something popped up randomly on like my sidebar, and it was a episode of the anime from the Johto anime with Wooper, and that was like this girl had like a boatload of Woopers, and that was a fun episode highlight to watch. Yeah, I knew it. At least they don't have explosion. That did nothing. If I grind when I get to the end, it's gonna be because I just don't feel as comfortable with my team. Because if I don't have, I think I'll have Typhlosion. I think Typhlosion will be it. If I don't have Typhlosion, I'll be really close to having Typhlosion at the end. But I think I'm a few levels off of Graveler. It might be. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the anime super well, so I just watched it, and you know, I was like, oh, this is great. But I used to know there was like the girl had like 15 Whoopers or something like that. It was a big amount of Whoopers. And then Whooper like single-handedly beat the Team Rocket Balloon. Let me think of all Pokemon. Oh yes, you should take this. I found it here, but I don't have any need for it. HMO 6. That one's Whirlpool. I guess I'll be doing Mahogany's gym now. The one thing I'm probably like most worried about going into the end of the game is Lance, just because he's, well, I don't know, I'm partially worried because I'm not sure if my team's gonna be evolved. Like if I don't do any grinding, I think that takes me to the beginning. If I don't do any grinding, then I'm stuck with Graveler and Alakazam, and their stats are gonna be a little bit lower, and that's a little bit scary, a little bit. It could have been. I'm not 100% sure, though. It was definitely an episode focused around Wooper. Pokemon. We're going to lead with Zuko now. Ice Gym is a little scary, but I also know that Matt is going to hit really hard with Fire Punch. I would love for Zuko to have a better move, but it would not happen. I guess I'll save here and we'll do the gym. What time am I at? 1 hour 47? Okay. We'll do the gym and we'll stop for the day. And then we'll finish Rocket in like the next stream. Border Ronald. Ah, great seal. The thing is, in like these older gens, there's limited Pokemon, so like some of the ice Pokemon are part water type, which is annoying. And then you've got the most of the grass types are part poison. It's not fun either. Okay, Paulette. Take out the seal. Ooh, didn't kill. Seal's on my possible list for Leaf Green or Fire Red, whichever one I play. I'm not entirely sure though, because I love water types, so there's always a lot of competition. I like a lot of them. And there's a lot that I kind of want to use. I'm honestly leaning towards going Charizard as my starter for those games, just because there's a lot of water types I want to use, and I don't want Blastoise to take up my water type slot. Who else would I want to use? Charizard, Pikachu, or Charizard, Raichu. Ooh, crit. Almost killed. Oh, I got the para. I was thinking Slowbro. I've never used Slowbro before. Dugong would be cool, though. I've always wanted to use, yeah, Seal's Gen 1. I've always wanted to use Starmie, too. Starmie could be better in a later gen. What are the water types? I've used Kingler. I think Kingler is really cool, but Kingler is not really good in Gen 1 because it's got big physical attack and it's pretty physical specials, but no, it's Gen 1. There's a lot of Pokemon you wouldn't realize because where they're at. Like, I didn't think Skarmory and Slugma were Gen 2. I thought they were Gen 3 because I know them from the lava path or whatever, at the volcano, and shoot, I click surf. And seeing Skarmory in the Fall Arbor area where the ash is coming down. It's Silver exclusive, I believe. It might be in Crystal too, but it's Silver exclusive between Gold and Silver, and I played Gold, so I never saw in the wild or anything like that. And probably like 1 or 2 trainers have a Skarmory, and that's it. And like 1 or 2 trainers have a Slugma. So I had no idea those two were Gen 2 for the longest time. I thought they were Gen 3. So I do not blame you one bit for thinking that, because you only get Seal by the Seafoam Islands, and I don't think you have to go there. Yeah. Yeah, Route 110. And then it's, I think, Route 113 is Fall Arbor for Skarmory. Route 110 is Hoenn Trumpets, theme-wise. I'm pretty sure. That is a banger. That's one of my favorite songs in all Pokemon. One of the most iconic. Okay, please have an actual ice type and not a water type. Well, I mean, Dugong is an ice type, but I mean like a non-water ice type, please. I would like to get Zuko some levels really badly. Damn it. Okay, fine. Pokemon. Back into Lantern. Lantern's getting the work in. Wait. Spark. This is a 2-shot. Ah. I'm gonna go back to being centered. I love Hoenn. Hoenn's one of my favorites. There was one point in time where I would put Hoenn in the top tier. But I think the last tier list I had it in A instead of S. But okay. It went to sleep, so we're gonna take this opportunity to switch out into Matt. Yeah, me too. I love Gen 3. Gen 3 wasn't my first. I actually played my friend had gold, and that's how I got into Pokemon. And I got gold third. Leaf Green was first, so I actually did play Gen 1 first, just not... Or I played Kanto first, just on Gen 1. And then I knew this was a 2-shot. And then I got Sapphire was my second game. And I love... Those are like the one games that if I felt I needed to grind at the end, I felt more fine doing it. But I learned with gold that I don't have to grind at the end of the games because I can go into the champion 15 levels lower and still win. I'm scared though about Emerald because I'm not sure I can do that with Wallace because Wallace kicked my ass last time I played Emerald, and I had both I had Breloom and Magneton, though admittedly Breloom is not. I prefer Emerald. It's full nostalgia for me. I like the I mean, they're like, technically speaking, the remakes are better, and there's a lot of cool things in the remakes, but I enjoy the originals more. I like the Game Boy sound, I like the Game Boy graphics, I like sprites more than models, and I think Gen 6 especially had the worst, because they really took a lot of saturation. I don't think you have a good ground move. I think they took a lot of saturation out of the models in, like, Gen 6 and 7. So, I just one-shot. So I just love playing through Gen 3 more. The original Gen 3 more than Oris. But Wallace was a very hard fight. Milotic is very specially defensive, and so was his Tentacruel. And there's not a lot of things that just like counter them really easily. So I was like, I'm not sure I can go in again. I'm not sure I can go in to Wallace like 50 levels, 100 levels, like I did with Lance and Gold. But it gives me confidence to at least try going for the Elite Four at a lower level and not grinding any. The level curve is much nicer in the newer games where like you're the level you're supposed to be. You're not like, it doesn't do like this suddenly at the very end of the game where, the 8th gym was like level 45 or like level 42 and the champion's 58, and you don't get like that many levels between the last two. Jinx. Jinx is an interesting stat line. It's very, very frail physically. Ember. I thought about using a Jinx. See, I like Gen 6 a lot. I just don't like the models. I don't think they're like... It's really a color thing. If you go to like Cerebi and you look at like the Gen 9 mod, like especially you look at... Well, Gen 9s are a bit more realistic, so they're a bit... They're not desaturated, but they're not as... How do I put it? It is still saturation. There's not... okay. If you go on to any type of... Like, even like PowerPoint or something, and you want to change the color of something, and you know how you have like the top corner is like the really, really bright, color? And then you can move it over and it's whiter, and you can move it down and it's darker. So if you move it, like kind of diagonally, like it'll be... still a bright color but not as saturated, but it's not like a light color kind of, I guess how I describe it. They're in Scarlet and Violet, they're more like that, I guess. But if you look at the Legends ZA stuff, like they're bright orange again. If you go look at Charizard though in like Gen 5 and then you look at Gen 6, and Charizard's like barely orange. ZA models look really saturated. The Scarlet ones are more realistic, so they're not quite as like that. Actually, you know what? I've got an idea. You know what we're going to do? We're going to pull up. We're going to pause this real quick. We're going to go to Cerebi. And I'm going to pull up Charizard. And we're going to look at Charizard real quick because this is like the perfect example. It's probably Charizard. Charizard. Okay, Gen 1. So we're going to add in a window capture. And we're just going to put it over real quick. So select a window. Cerebi, Charizard. Okay, here we go. So this is Gen 1 Charizard. That's a really bad example. Gen 5. So see this color on Charizard here, right? This bright orange color, right? Gen 6. What happened to him? That's not the same color. That's like way brighter. And then if you go to Gen 9. So going to the Scarlet and Violet real quick, like they're more realistic, so they are that kind of like desaturated, but they look better than like X and Y do, I think. And then ZA, you know, they really brought it back. And this looks way closer to like Gen 5, you know, with this bright color. And they went away from that for a while, and I like this. I like how this looks. And there's a lot of other Pokemon like that too. I think Camerupt's in both, so let's go to Camerupt real quick. So you can see how bright Camerupt is. And if you go to like Gen 6, you know? Is this even the same color? Like, that's totally different. You go to Gen 3, and that orange looks a lot more like this to me, you know? It's very bright. And it's a bit less bright in this, but it's because it's realistic looking. And I don't hate this, honestly. I don't love this. That's my biggest complaint with Gen 6, is like, why are the colors like this? I guess they kind of are into some of these newer ones too, but I love this bright color because it looks a lot like the models were. Okay, we're exiting out of that now. That is my spiel. Oh, wait, I need to bring the chat back up. The chat stays on the stream, but it goes away. Yeah, so there you go. I think sometimes it looks fine. It looks better, like that color palette looks better in Scarlet and Violet than it did in like Gen 6. Gen 6 it just looked like desaturated. At least there was a reason in Scarlet and Violet. I didn't hate how it is in Sword and Shield, but it looks so much nicer with that really bright color. And why did my stream thing on here go away? Sorry. The my preview window got behind. I don't know why. I like it being on time or not far behind me. Not, oh look, my preview window's, you know, a minute back. Border Douglas. Another water type. What do you know? Okay, Lantern. Here you come. Half of the ice types in this gym, but half water. Or like Shelter, which might be pure water. I forget if it's water, ice, or just pure water. But Cloyster's part ice. Shelter might not be, though. Okay. Border Douglas. Yeah, Cloyster. There you go. Anyway, back to Gen 6. Besides that, I do love Gen 6. I love X and Y. I think X and Y are some of my favorites. I guess in a way, I don't know. Easiness is an interesting thing because like there's definitely less Pokemon. I think that's where some of the easiness in the newer games comes from. They started giving trainers less Pokemon for some reason, at least for a couple gens they did. But like Gen 6 and 7 and even 5, you know, it started I think that's what it is. It's not ice, but it gains the ice type when it evolves. And the Cloyster's definitely ice. You had the trend of trainers having less Pokemon, you know? Not that they ever had a ton of Pokemon, I guess. But you didn't have a lot of trainers with really full teams. And then like the Elite Four had 4 Pokemon and gym leaders only had 3, and that is a little bit easier. But I think a lot of it is more of a... Have I fought everybody? Okay, yeah, I have. I'm gonna go heal, and then we're gonna go back and fight Bryce. I'm gonna just stay led with Cyndaquil. But there's more areas to like heal, you know, so you don't have to have all your items with you. And some trainers have a bit less Pokemon now, and I think that's where I guess some of the quote-unquote easiness comes from. It's not always easy, though. I think a lot of it depends on your team and who you have in your party. If you have, like, if you're like me with Sword and Shield, or not Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, where you have big teams, and you use, like, 12 Pokemon, they're rotating in and out, if you've got the wrong Pokemon, and then it's not exactly always easy. But if you've got the right Pokemon in it, it is a lot easier. Kind of just depends. I think they have complete movesets. This puzzle seemed way easier than it was in Gold. I haven't noticed incomplete movesets. I don't think they always use good strategy, but I don't think the AI has ever used particularly great strategy in the regular games. I think they use more good strategy in like the battle tower and stuff than they do just regularly. I do wish there was a harder mode though. I don't want Fire Emblem. Like I can Nuzlocke if I want to Nuzlocke. I don't need like that kind of thing, but do something that like gives them a bit more competitive movesets, because like the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, the that's super tough. Another seal. The I mean, yeah. See, I never noticed that. I will say I didn't have a lot of trouble with X and Y, but some of that is also with your teams. If you have a good team, then you're not going to have a lot of issues if you have a good team, because you just kind of cover everything. I always end up having trouble covering fighting types. I think it's just because they've got annoying coverage in the modern Pokemon games. But so the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, the Unova one, the Blue Academy, yeah, that was hard because that was full double battle teams basically, and that was not easy in the slightest. That was really difficult. That's the hardest I've had in Pokemon in a long time. The last time I had it probably hard before that was just when I have bad teams. Like my Ultra Moon team didn't have I had no access. I not only didn't have a water type, ice type, a fairy type, or a ground type, I didn't have coverage to all of those moves, and that was really difficult. Try playing through with a new Pokemon game with no water moves, no ground moves, no fairy moves, and no ice moves or those types. But yeah, they I mean they have like borderline, I think, competitive movesets. And I wasn't always expecting some of those things, and I was like, shit. I'm still going to bet that this is which one is that? Is that Incineroar? I'm gonna guess that's Incineroar. I actually low-key love Incineroar. I mean, I like its design and everything, but I leveled one up in Sword and Shield in the post game, and it's an Intimidate, one hidden ability, and it's got Parting Shot, and I love it. I love being able to Intimidate, Parting Shot, and just like completely nerf the attack stats of the Pokemon. Blizzard. Oh, good, you missed. That's a little annoying, but because he's burned, it's not as bad. Though Blizzard is gonna hurt if it gets off. Oh, I got a crit back. Ha. Yeah. I'm really torn because when I get to Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the team I used Decidueye with was the one that didn't have the Water, Ice, Fairy ground coverage, and I don't hate like Decidueye, but I think I like Decidueye, but it leaves a little bit of a sour taste, It is. It's really good nibbles. But I love Primarina, and I've never actually used Incineroar in a playthrough. I've only used it post-game. So I would like to use, like, Incineroar as a base Pokemon and not having, like, its hidden ability and everything. Just to get more of a baseline on, how much I like it in just regular play. Because it's like Superior, right? Superior is really good with Contrary, and Superior without Contrary is a completely different Pokemon. I would like to know if Incineroar is a completely different Pokemon if it does not have Intimidate. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not quite as good. It's not going to be as good, because Intimidate's really good. But I would like to see how they compare. Do not flinch me to death. Give me the Nah, you're getting paralyzed. Next time I don't get flinched, you're getting paralyzed. This guy's a jackass. Yeah, great. Flinched me 4 fucking times in a row. Pack. Where's my Hyper Potion? I'll use my Moo Moo Milk. But I would love if there was more. I don't need everything to be doubles, but I wish they had more Pokemon that were like that. Like, give me a hard mode where it plays more like Blueberry Academy. I think that would be really fun. But like X and Y was pretty easy, but like when I like today, right? There's been nothing that's been difficult about today in Crystal. I mean, the most annoying thing today was this headbutt. Yeah. And there's other Pokemon too that fall into this category, right? Greninja with original protein before they nerfed it. You know, that's way different. I mean, it's just way better. Because protein's such a good ability. Intimidate's really good on Incineroar. Contrary Superior completely changes. I used Superior, by the way, in Black and White. It sucked. It was awful. It was a terrible one. Icy Wind. Okay. Like, it's straight up. It was awful. I have zero interest in using Superior ever again, without Contrary. Incineroar though, I'd like to see, because I think Incineroar, I think it's got a better stat line. I think it's a cooler moveset, cooler everything. Yeah, it's still good. I used it last time I played through X, so it was my starter. And Greninja was perfectly good. Honestly, Greninja has so many options because it gets so many coverage moves. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, if you don't have Contrary, you're not missing anything. I think Superior is a really cool design, but it's not very good. It's got good defenses, and it's fast, but it just does not hit hard at all. That's why Contrary makes it so good, is you can pull off all those Leaf Storms and buff your stats. But, I mean, yeah, you get Coil, which is, like, good, but it's not the same. Okay, so now Orso and Steve are lowest levels. So I guess Steve's go back to the front. Okay. Do we want to... Oh, we're gonna fly. We're gonna fly. That'd be easier. Bill's PC... Yeah, deposit Pokemon. We'll do Chinchou, because Chinchou's at the bottom. Be the easiest. We're just flying and then boxing Burb back. You got Burb. I like Samwat. I like Samwat in Gen 5 because I don't like the water types all that much in Gen 5. I really like Jellicent. Jellicent's really good. But besides that, like, I'm not a big Basculin person. I did use Swanna. I didn't think Swanna was very good. I used Seismitoad. I didn't think Seismitoad is really good. I think Seismitoad is just straight up worse than Swampert. I have not used Quagsire, like, in a playthrough. Except for that little bit at the end of Gold. I like Quagsire, it's just never something I've gotten a chance to use. But I can't imagine it's much... I feel like it's probably better than Seismitoad still. Seismitoad might get cooler coverage. That's like the only thing Seismitoad I think might have over it. Because Seismitoad was not very good. At least to me, it didn't feel that good. So I usually go that. I like Emboar design-wise. I know not everybody does. The problem to me with Emboar is I just like Darmanitan. I think Darmanitan's just better. You trade speed for special attack. Emboar has a big special attack stat, and it can use like Scald and some cool coverage moves. But you're a lot slower. Darmanitan has roughly the same defenses, also a big HP stat, but instead of a special attack stat, and it can go both ways, it's just speed and physical attack. But I'd much rather have the speed and physical attack, and it hits like a truck. So yeah, I like Quag. Well, no, I like Seismitoad's design. I like Seismitoad. I just don't think it's that good. I think, and especially like with Quagsire, Quagsire is early game in Gold, Silver, Crystal. So like I could use it. It gets Earthquake, it gets Surf. That's super, not just a unique typing, but like not a lot of ground types actually get Earthquake or get it at a reasonable level. It's like the only one that gets Earthquake before level 40. It gets it at 35. So I at least have that for the Elite 4, or just have to grind a little bit to get to the Elite 4, but that's like where my team was 35, so I wasn't over-leveling it for that. Seismitoad was just bad. Or not that good, it was just mid. Seismitoad was just mid. And in a newer game, it kind of sucks more being mid. Like, you can work with mid in an older game. Like, if I used Quagsire and I was like, it's alright, then whatever. You know, like, it'd be okay for this game, because a lot of things have bad movesets. Quagsire is always going to win in design. Quagsire and Wooper have a great design. But Seismitoad just was kind of meh. And it sucks. I like that. I think it's got a cool design. I cannot wait to do Heart Gold. See, I think it's got a cool design and more. I just prefer Darmanitan playing with it. But you're never going to see me complain too much about Emor. Can you give me a Tor, please? What? No Tors. What a ripoff. I put Scyther up front. We finally taking over the radio tower. Yeah, Emor, the biggest thing for me is it's Gen 5, and my favorite fire type is in Gen 5 with Darmanitan, so it's hard for me to not use it. But I'm probably gonna go Samwat and Black and White, and Emor and Black 2 and White 2 when we get to streaming those. Way down the line. Oh yeah, I gotta fire. Do help me out. I love that Wooper you get so early in this game. Same with Mareep, but Mareep isn't in Crystal. Mareep is Gold and Silver exclusive. I really love that one's early too, though. That's such a big boon. I was saying earlier I really like to use Huntail because I just think it'd be kind of cool to use Huntail for some reason. I don't know, I'm for whatever reason, I'm just like, I think Huntail would be cool. But, like, you get it at such a weird spot and late in the game. So it's really difficult, and it's like original gen. So, it's nice. I like being able to have Pokemon like Wooper and Mareep and get them really early. It's just so much extra benefit. I'm going to go through all of them. Yeah, well, not technically all of them. I'm not going to do like both Ruby and Sapphire. That's stupid, but I'm going to go... oh, my nose is itching again. I'm planning on doing Ruby because I want to use Zangoose, and Zangoose is really itchy. Zangoose is only in Ruby. Then Leaf Green or Fire Red, one of the two, then Emerald. Then Diamond or Pearl, and I'm going to hate myself because I hate Diamond and Pearl. Then Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or Soul Silver, one of the two. Then Platinum. Then Black or White, Black 2. No, it's, well, yeah, it is a trade Evo. I can do the same thing, though. I can make it a, just to use the item in this with the randomizer. Yeah, but yeah, that also makes it extra annoying, though, is, yeah, I think it's a trade Evo with the item. But it's one of those just, like, it's such a, it's not even just hard to do, but you get it so late in the game, typically. It's not very... Now Dedue's really carrying some weight here. All these normal types that it just walls. Why would they want to take over the radio tower? Bueno, huh? Today's password? Help, of course. It's far too... Yeah, they have, like, no security, because who's going to take over the radio tower? The biggest problem with Huntillo isn't just the Tradio, it's that you get it late. So you get it only after Dive, which is only after the 7th gym, I believe, and you can, I think, purposely do some ways. And, well, you not just have to get Dive, but you also have to go get the, you also have to go get the item to evolve it. So you have to go get something for Captain Stern, and then go talk to him, and then Captain Stern gives you the evolution item. So, you need, for Huntail, you need to get it there. You don't... We're gonna confirm this real quick. Huntail. Gen 3. Where is it? There's Huntail. So Clamperl doesn't get any moves. Or it gets 4 moves, but doesn't get any level up moves, right? So you get Huntail. You catch Clamperl between, it's like 20 and 35, but it gets Water Pulse at 22. Well, you know what? Okay, I stand corrected. You get Surf in these games, and you definitely have Surf at this point, and Huntail can get Surf and Waterfall, so I guess you technically could get one of the higher level ones. If I had to go to Clamperl, Route 124, okay. Route 124, whoops, 124 Hoenn. Okay, I changed my opinion because I forgot that you get Surf and Waterfall. You can get between 20 and 35. So if you get a Chinchou at level, what did I say? If you get it at level 35, then you get Crunch right away. Okay, never mind. I take that back. You can get a high level one. Then you're not as bad. Maybe I will do that then. Maybe I will use a Huntail. I would like to use one, but I was thinking because usually you want to get evolve it early, so you want to get it at a lower level. But then I was like, well, yeah, if you get Surf and Waterfall, though, you don't really need Water Pulse, and then you can kind of just get the highest level one you can find. Then you don't have to grind as much. I was gonna be scared. Like if I need to catch it at a low level to get a move, you know, then that's gonna be problematic. But I don't need to do that. I was mistaken. I'm glad I looked that up. Now I feel much better. We're gonna stick with Steve. We're Team Rocket, the exploiters of Pokemon. We love being evil. Scared? I'm frightened. Rattata. Rats. I got a friend who loves Rattata. He just collects Rattatas at Pokemon Go. That is his favorite Pokemon. I have a shiny Rattata in Soul Silver. I was using it, but I feel like it's fault. No, you know what? I like these games. The level curve feels worse. Like from what I remember, like I was getting behind on levels, but it wasn't like this game. In a way, I think it's almost easier sometimes because I know some of these Pokemon suck with their moves and stuff. But I was not feeling that with Soul Silver at all. I like Rattata. I like the sprite in this game. It shares it for this and Gold. It's the same one. Sometimes Crystal takes the Silver sprite, and sometimes it changes them up a bit, but it usually takes the Gold sprite. I love this Gold sprite. This is the one I grew up with. Its color is a bit different in Crystal. It's a bit pale. It's a bit less purple in It's a slightly grayer purple in Gold, but same design. And to me, for like Rattata, it looked so weird going to Rattata and Leaf Green and Fire Red because it felt like it was way different because it's way less round looking. It's a bit more, I guess, angly in a way with how it's done. It's like Geodude and Ruby and Sapphire because I was used to the Leaf Green one as well and the Gold one, and then Geodude is like way more, I guess, chiseled and not as round. That's like, what? Okay. Hey, keep out of our way. Okay. Guess we're playing a bit more, but I see there's 3 viewers right now, so I don't want to sign off right after, some people came in. Because I went like basically an hour before really there was anybody here. That's what happens when you're a small streamer. Or, I'm not really a streamer, I'm more of a YouTuber. Technically. What happens when you're a small channel? And I don't do I do Beyblade typically, right? Not Pokemon, so. Not as many people tune into these all the time. I know there are people in my audience, though. Normal audience that play Pokemon, like Flog, right? Zubat. Orso needs levels. Golbat, I love Crobat. Crobat was not very good in this game. I'm not gonna lie. I should use Strength there, it's stronger. That worked. This is pre-poison being good. and I don't think there's like Poison Fang even, so there wasn't really any good poison moves anyway, and it took me a while to get Wing Attack. So yeah, that Crobat is one that I will probably not use again until Gen 4. Well, I could get it in Gen 3 if I wanted to, Ruby and Sapphire Emerald. But you can't evolve it until the post-game of Kanto. And then I remember them decently well, but I've spent so much time playing Pokemon. I have 999 hours in both Leaf Green and Y, and I've got a lot of time into Sapphire. And I've played through Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald probably more than just about any Pokemon game. Yeah, for real. I mean, you might not want to hear this because you're a Bug-type fan, but rumor has it there weren't any real Bug-types either until Gen 5. Heracross is really cool. Heracross gets Mega Horn at like level 50 or something, some crazy level. And most of the other bug types don't get like any bug moves. And I don't understand it. Bugs are cool, and they like screwed over all the bugs until Gen 5. Then finally you started getting bug moves after, or you got some in Gen 4 to be fair, but Gen 5 is where the bug types really took off. You also got a boatload of cool ones. Grimer, okay. That's fine. Scolipede was added. Galvantula was added. A Selgor and a Scavalier were added. Heracross is super good in Black 2 and White 2. Grimer is going to get hard. I will say, though, when I was doing Scarlet and Violet, I was looking at the bug-type roster, and I didn't like the bugs as much in Scarlet and Violet, or the water-type roster. They weren't, like, awful or anything, but they just weren't my favorites, you know, overall. I think there's been gens with better bug-types and gens with better water-types than those. I know you get Scyther, but I wasn't thinking about, let me try to evolve for Scizor, you know, on the Switch. And Heracross I did use. I used Heracross, because Heracross is awesome. I think I ended up... Did I breed one or not? I forget if I went and caught one as early as I could, or if I bred one. I somehow have two, though. Which ones? What bugs? One's gotta be Scolipede. It's got a Mega now. I don't know whether bug types, though, are in ZA. I know it's like a lot of the Kalos decks, but not all of the Kalos decks. So I don't know what's there and what's not. I assume Vivillon's there, but I don't. That's not one I'd be guessing. Low kicks and Slitherwing. Well, Slitherwing though is a area 0, so like I could totally pick it up at the end of the game, but I'd really only have it for the Blueberry Island DLC, you know. Low kicks is cool. I used low kicks and Violet when I played it. It was my second playthrough. Wimpod, Scizor, and Heracross. That's a good combination. Okay, that person down there is a worker. Ooh, nice. I have one shiny in Legends. It's in the regular one, and it's I think a Tangela. I think I've got a shiny Tangela. I've bred 2 shinies in regular games. It was a Sandile that was totally random full odds, and then the one was a Reuniclus. That was pretty cool. So I'm still very, anytime I get a shine, it's like, whoa. I've heard it's easier in like the ZA games, and people have done them, but whenever I've shiny hunted, it has never worked out. I bred so many Axews. My Pokemon home is filled with Axews. I'm starting to go through them now and deleting some of them because I'm like, I don't want like what feels like a fourth of my boxes being Axews. Obviously, I'm still gonna keep a good amount though, because they are good for GTS trades. Like I said, I can get anything I want on GTS, which is really nice. Oh yeah, the Reuniclus is also like awesome. It's not a hundo, which is perfectly fine actually. It's a I'm gonna go for strength and see if I kill this. It's a max HP, defense, special attack, and special defense. Shoot. I know, they do. Oh, we lived on one. Grimer, yeah, we're gonna... Matt's gonna kill everything now. It's got, I think, 0 speed and a middling attack stat. So it's really great for, like, Trick Room if I wanted to run that. But Reuniclus is slow, so you don't need that. And honestly, if you're not a physical attacker, you technically want as low of an attack as you can get to counter foul play. So Zubat, I would stay with that. No, I have on my channel like 3 or 4 shiny hunting Axew streams, and I think I even did more off camera, and I got like 700-800, maybe close to 1,000, and I never got it. I'm gonna stay in so I can just get the level. Kadabra. I mean, Kadabra is still really good. Kadabra and Scythe or Graveler is still really good. There's a part of me though that's like, I don't think I'll get to the level to evolve them by the time I'm in the Elite Four, unless I just need to use these 2 a lot. But really, we don't have a lot of game left for the main story until the post game. Future Sight, that's cool, but I do not want that. No. Because after this, you just have like the one more little area, and then you've got the area to the Elite Four, so... Unless I only use this Pokemon, which I am not. Zuko. Yeah, I was like, you're not... This person definitely wants to fight, and we're going to save, because my Pokemon are weak, and I don't really want to heal them up, and I don't really want to leave, so we're not going to do that yet. I don't know, child wandering here. Who are you? Huh. Yeah, after that, I stopped shiny hunting after that Axew. I was like, I had the shiny charm and I had Masuda method. I'm not sure there's any other ways to increase your odds, but yeah, I was like, no. And I breed a lot of Pokemon. Even going back now with Sword and Shield, I'm going back and still doing my same thing as I was before, where I breed. I take the Pokemon that I've leveled up all the way, and I use them with the Gmax Meowth. And I'll Gmax Meowth in the championship tournaments to get a bunch of money, and then I'll take the rest of my team is all the Pokemon that I leveled up. Then I'll go to the Island of Armor and buy all the IVs I need, and give them to the Pokemon that I bred, and then I'll level those up, and I'll do it manually. I don't use the X of the candies. I do it fully manually, going and just battling Pokemon after I max them out of their EVs. And then once they're a high level, I repeat the process, breeding more Pokemon, and then using them to go get more money, and etc, etc. So, but in all of that, I've only bred the Reuniclus. And I always use the Japanese Ditto, and if it's a Japanese Pokemon, I use my Spanish Ditto. So I always have Masuda method. Lock on. Yeah. I actually enjoy it. I don't like doing it at Scarlet and Violet. This is a hot take, I feel like, because I know some people like it. Scarlet and Violet, you do have the picnics, and you just have to sit there, and it does it for you. But the problem for me is you get a bunch of extra eggs, and I don't want to have to go spend the extra time hatching the eggs. Because it doesn't really help me if I can let my Switch sit there and breed for me. If I'm going to have to hatch all those eggs afterwards, I can go back and forth and only pick up an egg when I have space in my party, so I never have a lot of eggs once I get the Pokemon I need, and then I can finish immediately. So... you know what? We're going to heal. We're going to go heal. I have a lot of Dittos. Well, I have 2 perfect ones. One's Japanese, one's Spanish. And then I've got a bunch of, like, 3 or 4 IV Dittos. One of them has, like Admin, I've got Jolly. I've got most of the good natures, but there's a few that I'm missing. And I could probably go for some more and just try to use, like, Mints or something on them, but It's not a big deal. I can usually use GTS to get good Pokemon that have good nature or good, good natures, and abilities and stuff. But it's not that hard. But there's a bunch I think would be cool. Like if I was gonna go for a shiny, I'd go for probably Honedge or Hawlucha. Dewpider's pretty cool too. I'd go for one that's like really neat. But I don't want to sit here and breed those over and over again. The only reason I would consider doing even Honedge right now is because I would like to level up a different Aegislash. Mine's a special attacking one that I leveled up. It's a special attacking one that has minus speed because I didn't want to mess with it because I was lazy. But I'd like to go for like an ad one that's like Swords Dance, and I had Shadow Claw, and I'd kind of like to do a Deblade too, because I went through the entire game and I didn't go for Aegislash. I kept my Deblade, and it kicked ass and it was awesome. And then I finally in the Elite Four evolved it, and I did not realize that King's Shield was a move relearner move. It wasn't an evolution move, it was a move relearner move. So I didn't have King's Shield for the Elite Four. And that was quite the experience. Oh, you're here. Let's do you first. Because you might have Dynamites, but you might also have Coughings again. I breed the legitimate. I've got a bunch of Hundos too. Scientist Rich. Oh, Porygon, that's kind of cool. I've got, like, Darmok, I think, is a hundo. My Lilligant's a hundo. My Axew's a hundo. I randomly got Ralt's hundo. My Heatmore might be hundo. I did Heatmore recently. I'm going to actually switch. Give me to do. I do it all legitimately. Admittedly, I don't know how legit the Dittos are, but... And the 6 IV ones, I got them off of GTS. Oh, you know what? What do you mean? In Pogo or Mainline? Or actually, specifically, because I've gone through a bunch of talking points and I don't know which one you're talking about. In mainline games, do you for like shinies and stuff, or breeding? I breed in like Sword and Shield. And yeah, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of Hundos. Hundos is what you mean. Hundo, yeah. I've got a bunch of Hundos in both. I've got a bunch of Pokemon Go, but I've got a lot in I've got a lot in the mainline. I'll pull up my Switch in a second. My Switch is just behind me. I can go grab it. I'll go into Pokemon Go real quick. While I finish this up. Now, okay, Zuko's 29, that's nice. We're gonna go into Steve, because I want Steve to get its... No. We're gonna go into... Ooh, this is tough. Steve gets Wing Attack at, like, what was it 33 I said? But Orso evolves, I think, soon. I'll do Steve first. Oh, there's a Toadstool in my house. Toadstool's a cool shiny too, but I don't think Toadstool's abilities that good. Roselia at the house. A Galarian Meowth. Does that give me the Stardust the Meowth does, or the not? I don't think it does. I feel like it doesn't for some reason, which is lame if it doesn't. Galarian Meowth. Well, I got a boatload of Stardust because it's my first catch of the day. Didn't realize I hadn't gone into the game yet. Tentacool, okay. Hundos. I have 184 in Go. I have a lot. The last ones I actually got a male Salandit. I got a Charizard that I just caught in the wild, or Charmander. I got a Kabutops from a trade. I got a Houndour from a trade. I got a Geodude from a trade. With, yeah, and then I got a Lugia. I haven't been playing as much, so these are all a few months ago. Yes, switch. We're going to you. I have a lot, though. Oh, here's a cool one. You'll like this. Let me find it. Actually, my phone is charged, so I can put this up to the webcam. Check it. It's still called Whooper. My Quag Center is a hundo. This was at the house, actually, so. I just realized that technically shows where I caught it. Whoops. That's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I don't have a... I have a shiny Dragalge. Here we go. Here's my shiny Dragalge. It was a lucky trade with someone. Primer. Yes. Matt. Make it easy. But yeah, I have a bunch of hundos. Anything else really particularly cool? I got a couple of Drillburs, which is neat. I like Drillbur a lot. I've gotten lucky with a bunch of Beldums, because Beldum's really good. Let's see. I got a Wobbuffet that's like super random, but kind of cool. I got a Smeargle hundo. I've got a... Oh, wait, do I have, where's the tag? I think I have it tagged. Let me find it real quick. Super effective, nice. I also have some Nundos. I've got a Nundo Haxorus. I've got a, I've got the entire Spheal line hundo, and I've got a Nundo Spheal, and I've got a Nundo Temple as well. And a hundo. And I've got Snover, the Nundo Snover. You came to rescue me? Is that what you're expecting? Wrong, I'm an imposter. Rocket Executive Sound. Does it say he has 6 Pokemon? Why? What was there to do? I do not want to... Oh. I'm gonna heart this comment. I don't want to worry about getting self-destructed. Because I at least know that Coughing can take it. Yeah, Nundos are way rare. I've got, I think it was 7 is what I had. Oh great, I didn't kill. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, 10, I've got 10, not 7. Why did I say 7? More close. Snover, Temple, Deerling, Darmaka, Spheal, Seedot, Haxorus, Feebas, Joltik, and Miltank. I've gotten a bunch of almost Nundos as well. Yes. Now we're going, since we're not switching in this time, we're going to that. I could also go into set mode if I wanted to be really challenging, but I don't really want to do that. I'm not that hardcore. I like a bit of a challenge, but I'd rather it just be like having higher level, like better movesets and better AI than like set or something. Actually, part of it is because I don't want to get spammed by self-destruct. That's really the big thing, is way too many of these Pokemon have like self-destruct in this game, especially with the Rockets, and they like to use it, and I don't want to have to worry about that. That's getting some XP. That's gonna be getting a lot of XP. I also have in this game... Ooh, there's a Makuhita. I have 911 shinies. I've sent a lot of shinies, though, to Pokemon Home. And I've traded some, too. Though I've also gotten some back, obviously. So I'm probably close to 1,000 different or 1,000 total. Not different ones though, just total. This guy sucks. His entire team is coughing. There's a rocket balloon here. Oh, that's Dragon one. Heck yeah. You have to excuse me a little bit. I gotta... There's the Dragon rocket. And Dragon is a rare rocket, so I want that. Ooh, it's a Dino. That's cool. I would love to have a Shadow Hydreigon. That's really good. Yeah. I actually haven't used a lot of the shinies I've sent over to home. But that's because in Sword and Shield I breed them, so. And I might have enough to do something like that, like Scarlet and Violet, I use a shiny team or something, but I have gotten a decent amount of shinies in Scarlet and Violet, especially once I got to the DLC, because I had the shiny charm and everything. So I got like Seviper, I got like a Alolan Graveler, I got like a Swaddle, I got a few other ones too. I can't do it. Underground warehouse. Please, Shadow Dino be good. Just after the last rocket event ended, I got a 15-10-15 Larvitar, and I was like, really? Are you kidding? Save. Okay, it is 15 attack and it's 14 HP, but it's a 3 defense IV. It's not super good, but I'll take that. Save. Okay, so we're gonna save the game here. No. We're going to go back to the... We're gonna go to the Pokemon Center. I don't really want to, when I start the stream back up next time, be over here. I am already ready to be done with the rockets. That's my least favorite part of this game, is there's a shit ton of rockets. I have, on my Scarlet and Violet, I have a shiny Mareep that I got really early. And then I got a shiny Coughing in the DLC area. I was looking for Clefairy, I think, and like something else, maybe. I was trying to find Clefairy, and there's one that's like set spawned, but I couldn't find the where exactly they were spawning or would spawn more. And I was just going around to like try to refresh my spawns, and yeah, I randomly got a Coughing. But what was funny is later on I was back in that area just doing like the actual gameplay stuff that time. And I found another one, so I now have a shiny Weezing and a shiny Galarian Weezing in my Sword and my current Scarlet playthrough. I have the DLC for Scarlet, not for Violet. I probably would do Scarlet playing through it again, because a stream LP, I think I'd rather be able to do the DLC. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my Switch real quick. Okay, so this is Sword and Shield. Actually, this is Pokemon Home. I can't really just switch to my Switch, so you have to look at it through this. Or I'm going to tell you. Shiny Coughing looks pretty cool. Galarian Weezing isn't near as cool, but it's... At least it wasn't... Oh, great, I got 2 of the same Pokemon, because I wanted to use all the shinies, but I wasn't about to use, you know, the same shiny twice. But being able to go Galarian, it's not the same one. It's different now. Okay, so in Scarlet and Violet, I think my entire box, my entire 2 boxes of leveled up Pokemon, I think are... I don't think they're all 5 IVs, but I think they're close. Alchemy is all perfect plus 1. TR-145, like the spin track TR-145 from Screw Fox. My Lilligant's a hundo. My Mian Shao's a hundo. My Darmanitan's a hundo. My Alolan Sandslash is a hundo. All of those were bred by me. Tyranitar's 5 IV. Primriona's 5. Chandeler's 5. My Clefable is not bred by me. I got one. I like TR-145. My Clefable is not bred by me. I just was able to get a really good one off of Wonder Trader GTS. It's 5 IV, but this one is fantastic. Or 30. The one that's not. Same with Dragalge. I got a Hundo Dragalge, but it's not mine. Obviously still leveled it up, though. My Incineroar is a hundo. That one is mine. I didn't breed all these from scratch, by the way. I have, I think, a Chimera. Yeah, Chimera's the one I got, right? I haven't used it, though, because it's painted, and I don't have another Divine, but it's painted, and I don't really want to use that. I should probably get another or something if I'm going to be that way. Wait, what was the number? So, Jolteon, no, Lilligant, Mienshao, Darmanitan, Sandslash, Dragalge, Incineroar. So that's 6. Then a boatload of Axews that I'm not using because I have so many. Okay, Hundo Miltank. That's 7. A 5 IV Hydreigon, and the other one is... Yeah, it probably is. I don't think Divine's particularly good. Hydreigon's other one, though, is 30, so it's almost perfect. Decidueye is perfect. That one's also bred by me. My Grimmsnarl's perfect, bred by me. My Clawitz is perfect, bred by me. Is that 9 now? My Haxorus, the one I did level up one of the Haxorus, or one of the Axews. And then the Glade I just did, I got a Hundo on it. And I got Hundo on the Heatmore that I leveled up. So, I've got like a dozen there, and then I was breeding before, because I was looking for Pokemon that I wanted to level up and add into my team. And I found a Hundo Jangmo I have. I also found a Hundo Minccino, but it's the wrong ability, and I got it off of like Wonder Trader GTS. It wasn't one that I bred myself. But the Jangmo I did breed. And I've got a Slowpoke as well, because there's another box that's Hundos that aren't leveled up. And I have a... What is it, Anthony? This is mind-blowing. I took a hike in Dark Cave yesterday, see? Well, there are tons of Dunsparce around. You have to see it. I get the feeling that Dunsparce may be timid. I don't see anywhere they're a strong Pokemon. Alright then, be good, okay. I have 2 other Hundo Petalols, but they're both own tempo. And I wanted the other ability. I've got a Hundo Slowpoke, but it's also own tempo, and I want Regenerator. I've got a Hundo Male Salandit, which is useless. I've got another Hundo Ralts, but it's a Jolly with Trace. So, yeah. I would need the ability cap, but there's... I forget... I know you can... I forget if the ability cap does both hidden ability and regular one, or if it's just one. But... Yeah, I would need to go do that. And I could do it. I've got a boatload of points, and I probably could get the ability cap, but... I have another Ralts, but I would need to nature change it because it's Jolly and Trace. I guess Gardevoir. I haven't looked at Gardevoir's hidden ability yet. I was going for hidden ability on Gallade because I wanted the Justified. I've got a Hundo Roggenrola. But it's got the wrong ability as well. It's sturdy, and I wanted a Sandstream. So. And then I've got like half a dozen. No, not more than that. It's like 16 or something Axews total. Irregular, yeah. Some of these, they need the hidden ability. Like the Minccino that I got, that is not... It's the that I got off of Wonder Trader GTS, is it's not hidden ability. So some of those, it would be fine, but I kept breeding because, like, I don't think I needed a Hundo Lilligant particularly. I think I just needed the Red IV, though maybe I did breed Lilligants until I got a Hundo. I don't know. But I got a Chlorophyll. The one that is a Hundo is Chlorophyll, which is what I wanted. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have at least one of those. I just haven't bothered. It's not that important for me to have a Hundo. I can get a 5 IV that's got the, you know, the 5 in the wrong place. That's really not hard at all and a lot quicker. But I just happened to get those as I was breeding for those Pokemon. I don't know where the other Slowpokes are though, so there has to be another Slowpoke somewhere. Because I originally leveled one up before I started breeding them. But I would think that I should have Slowpoke somewhere if I bred that one. I've also got Snorts. I haven't leveled up any of a Snorant yet to Frostlass or Glalie. Again, I leveled them up before I was EV training them, but I don't have them since I started doing that, but I've got a bunch of extras. But when I looked through my box, I don't think I saw a boatload of Slowpokes, which is what you think. Oh, they're there. So I do have a bunch of Slowpokes. I should probably breed these again. Might as well. But I've got a good amount of Hundos. I breed everything fully, and I'm Sword and Shield. Okay. I would kind of like to keep going. I think it'd be fun, but it is also midnight for me, and I started this at like 9:30ish, a little bit before. And the stream says, how long have I been going? OBS has me at almost 3 hours, so I'm going to end it here because this is a good spot. Thank you, Fog, for being in the chat, because I don't always have people in the chat. Thank you to the the other concurrent viewer besides Fog, who has not said anything, and whoever was in the chat and left, because I had 3 and then 4. I peaked at 4 at some point. I don't have a streaming schedule, but I will be streaming this again at some point. I don't know when it'll be, because it probably won't be over the weekend. And I'm hoping to upgrade the computer a little bit and have be able to do Mario Kart, because I'd like to have that as another option for games, you know, at some points. So yeah, anyway, thank you to everybody who came out. This was fun. Shout out to Fwog. Are you in the CBT? I want to look at this. Discord. I sent myself the brackets, so. Okay, you're not in the CBT. I was going to say good luck. I was going to say good luck, but you're not in the CBT. Good luck in the next Beat My Combo. Wait, your combo is actually the Beat My Combo. I took your Fang combo from a few weeks ago. That one was really fun. The Fang, the 4D Fang Left Wing 160 BSF. That was super fun, so I'm stealing that for Beat My Combo, and that's the next one. But that's not going to be until after the CBT's over. I mean, this one, it was up a couple days, but a lot of people... Yeah, it was that good of a combo that it's being stolen. Fang. That was just super fun. I love Fang. Fang is so much fun to use. It's like, it's got just crazy recoil and crazy hits. The Fang battle in the CBT is really fun too. Somebody had Fang Bull against a 0G combo and they went like crazy. But yeah, this one's a 32 blader CBT. So I'm gonna wait until that's over and then I'll be doing the Beat My Combo like the next weekend after that. But you can try to beat your own combo. What are the comments on that one right now? Content. Let me real quick check that. Beat My Combo is 12 days ago. Okay. Yeah, if you want to beat your own combo, you can beat your own combo if you want. But I'm excited for it because it was fun as heck against that Flash base. So I think it'll be fun again to have against some other stuff. And I think people are generally pretty good in making fun things. There's a Flash Bay that probably is going to kill it, but Dancing Foxfire's got a fun bay. And Selevsky's got a fun bay. And Aerof Sharma's got a very Aeris bay. And I think that's going to be... No, you can do Beat My Combo. I usually only record them I record them like a day or two before I do them, so you typically have quite a while. And since the CBT's happening, I'm not doing it over the weekend or anything, so yeah, there's more than enough time for you to do it, to comment on it. This would be about when I record it if I was doing it, but I've got the CBT, so yeah, feel free. Actually, I have another monitor up. I was smart this time. I set up another monitor. This is gonna pause the thing, but that's okay. We're not playing anymore. Here is. Oh yeah, I forgot the chat's popped out. Whoops. Here's the link. There we go. There's the Beat My Combo link. Make it easy. But yeah. So there is no schedule on streaming. Yeah, the wackier the better. I'm excited for that very Eris combo. That's gonna be fun. You do something wacky and you're probably gonna get chosen for this one. Anyway, no streaming schedule. It'll be whenever. There might if I can get Mario Kart working, it might be Mario Kart stream next. But otherwise, back to Pokemon Crystal. We'll finally finish the rocket stuff. Honestly, my least favorite part of this game. And yeah. So thank you, Fog. Thank you to everybody else who tuned in. And I will see you guys in the next stream whenever that is.